hog the hill giant steading, and you guys decide to opt for a slightly different approach. This is your third sojourn to the steading, so you've decided to go from under the cave, and you guys were deliberating for quite a while about how best to approach these hill giants. They're not very sort of organized in terms of their defensive measures. However, they are they do have like a lot of numbers, and they do have some help from much smarter hobgoblins that are directing things. So you guys decided you'll need somewhat of a plan. So you've entered through the lower portion of Grudd, and you've traveled around to the butchery, where you've ascended a ladder, and you've arrived in this kitchen quite close to where Chief Gar is. You can actually sort of hear her just roaring, and you found a bit of a grisly scene. It looks like Zindra is sort of being roasted on a spit. She is just there, slowly rotating on the rotisserie. And you guys came up with a bit of a plan, thinking perhaps if you can take out Chief Gar, the other enslaved male hill giants, might just sort of abandon all hope. You also took note of this large wagon, this throne that Chief Gar is resting on, and there were some talks about possibly disabling that, making her sort of topple off of it. So you're currently in this kitchen area, and you've got a nice roast here, just slowly braising away. To the east, there is a red curtain hung up next to a 20-foot wide doorway, sort of separating the main feast hall from the kitchen. To the north, there's another couple of curtained off sections, and yeah, all of the furnishings here, as you know, are giant size. They're about 8 times the size of a normal table or a normal chair or anything like that. So you can hear quite a lot of banter, quite a lot of activity from the east. Chief Gar just sort of snorting, like you can almost smell her from where you're standing. Like sort of jiggling in anticipation for her feast. And yeah, there's just this sort of crackling fire raging in this dome-shaped fireplace. You've quickly taken out the goblins that were stationed here. There are sort of dirty pots piled up on these tables. There's a hand axe embedded into one of the table's legs. There are shelves against the western wall, packed full of oversized clay dishes and wooden utensils. And just curtain doorways to the north and east, and to the left, to the west of this room. So here you guys are.
So are we going to try again with another man down?
Yeah, I think if we focus fire...
Don't really have a choice.
Well, we can leave.
Okay.
We could leave. We could do the bag of holdings. This is a terrible idea.
I think we just focus fire. Burn her down. Maybe light the wagon on fire, see if she drops the...
I'm gonna take what's left of Zindra and at least get it to where it's not freaking roasting anymore. Set her over to the side.
Alright, you take out a spear or something and just sort of take the spit off. It's still like crackling, roasting, and it's got this nice sort of deep red glaze to it.
Oh God. Maybe we should just throw her in the pit.
As you
incinerate her.
As you take the spit off, a leg or an arm sort of comes loose from the poor sort of butcher's twine that the goblins had sort of tied up the roast with.
Well, she didn't have a very Merry Christmas, that's for sure.
No, she did not.
Oh.
And also, just Roderick is concentrating on Hunter's Mark as well. Ren's looking slightly beat up. there's nothing to search. He's just roasted, just tied up like a pig on a spit.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really want to search her. I just wanted to get her to where she wasn't. Just
Yeah, I was joking about the search, but I will say a prayer for her
But
body.
were you joking?
Well, I'm praying
I
but
mean,
searching at
You
the same
didn't
time.
leave any like items on her.
Yeah,
did
just
you?
kind of
Like,
pat in the pockets a little bit.
don't worry, the
As,
plus one
you know,
longbow's
as-
safe.
It's a clerical thing.
We could try commanding Gar to jump. See if that.
Suddenly, you hear a loud, booming voice come from behind the curtain. Gum, feed me!
Oh,
We should.
Gub Gub dead. Gub Gub's dead.
Did you call that out?
No.
I'll cast a minor illusion to use the goblin voice and say, Gub Gub.
Alright, make a deception check.
Oh.
I don't want to hear your excuses! And you hear like a loud thumping sound. I want my food! Otherwise, we're gonna eat you! No! God need to be big!
Let's kill her.
Do you want to step out, fight? Hope for the best.
Well, we can always run away if things get a
I
little
see.
too hairy.
So we try to hide, I guess? They coming?
Ah,
I mean, if we want to hide, I can rope trick.
I don't think they
But-
will. I don't think
that
they're
just
coming
means-
in here as of yet. If we
Okay.
leave her waiting any longer, though, probably.
So what was?
I don't think she'll come in here in any case. And that
No.
was our objective.
Well, she's gonna send somebody if anything. What? What was the
Yeah,
plan?
but
again?
the idea and our plan is to kill her so that we don't have to kill everybody.
Focus fire
Okay,
her.
so do we see the layout at all? Can we sneakily take a peek and see what
She
the layout
should be
is?
just on the other side of this curtain. What do you
Yeah,
think?
someone could make a stealth check and try to sort of slip in through the curtain and take a look around.
Who's the stealthiest of us all?
Not it.
Zindra.
Not the
Is it right? Sometimes I am. I'll try it.
I'll put that thing on him. Guidance.
All right, Roderick, you sneak in and just sort of part the curtain, and
Yep.
there's like some shadows, some dark shadows in the area that you can use to conceal yourself. And despite you're not like the quietest, you are invisible as long as you stick to the shadows. And there's a lot of noise going on in this area. You see the 5 male hill giants, 3 of which are leaning on tables. They seem sort of beat. They're just surrounded by some bones and scraps and filth, just sort of catching their breath from having to eat. And there is another male hill giant right next to Chief Gar. It was about 30 feet away from you, and he is just there. Chief Gar's got this massive, fat, chubby leg just sort of sticking out with these gnarled toenails, which are longer than your beard, Roderick. And the male hill giant's just sort of picking at them with his fingernail, picking out gunk and whatnot. And seems to be scraping off what looks like the remains of a dead goblin from underneath her foot. There's another male hill giant standing next to her wagon throne. He looks quite heavily armored as far as hill giants goes. He's wearing some sort of hide armor, and he has this windmill blade in his hand, like a greatsword. Chief Gar herself, she's just sort of got her back facing to you, and just sort of squat down in this throne, just bulging a bulging mass with sort of rolls just hanging over the side of this wagon. A couple of vultures circling her head. Some carrion sort of picking at what little scraps or insects. There are like beetles and worms and all sorts of parasites crawling around on Chief Guard's flesh. Her flesh is like moving. It's that disgusting. And you can see a couple of ogres. They're sort of facing away from you. They're standing on tables and they've got these bolt launchers. And they're sort of facing the other curtain like they're on guard. Two of them.
Right.
You also see a single hobgoblin standing on a table to the northwest of the room. He's just standing there like on guard with a longbow. You notice a couple little goblins sniggling, running around on top of this this sort of platform that runs the length of the interior of the hall. And a couple of ogres as well. So you count 4 ogres, 5 hill giants, Chief Gar, 5 goblins and a hobgoblin. And actually make me a perception check, Roderick.
Sure.
As you look around carefully and examine Chief Guard's might, you notice a goblin sort of stuck in between her rolls. He's sort of pretty much like you can just see his arm sticking out. It's like you're not even sure if he's alive or not. Just like a goblin arm sticking out. Looks like he's been completely enveloped. And
Nice.
as you examine this wagon throne as well, you can actually make me an intelligence check.
I can try.
It's not bad.
You take a look at the wagon throne, and you guys were talking last session about how to perhaps like sever one of the wagon's axles. And looking at it, Roderick, you believe that you could probably do it with a very well-placed hit. You'd need like a strong ranged attack. But yeah, if you hit the axle in just the right place, you feel like it could just completely split off the axle. The wheel will topple over, and she should sort of just fall straight off of the wagon.
Yeah. Would like a magic attack work for that, or would it have to be
Depends on what it does.
if it can target?
A lot of spells don't interact with objects, but some do. Like a firebolt would, an Eldritch Blast wouldn't.
Yeah.
Or just a good longbow shot or a crossbow shot.
Yeah. Chief Guard, does she look like she could even jump if I tried that method?
As far as you can tell, she's not able to stand. She's like 20,000 pounds. Probably needs like a crane or something to lift her up.
Yeah.
Sure. And then she sort of snorts. And she tries to sort of turn her head back towards the kitchen, but she doesn't have that much range of movement. And so she sort of just, her head is side onto you, and she just sort of snorts over towards the curtain. And she just sort of just starts like beating a male hill giant with a club, just sort of whacking him. Hurry up!
So I'm gonna bail out of this room and go talk to Thomas, I think. What's the best spell we got for breaking stuff?
Oh, be a well-placed fireball.
Firebolt? Well placed? Or just like...
At this stage, while you guys are whispering a plan, I'm going to need a group stealth check.
Hey,
Sure.
what?
I was going to cast Pass Without Trace for him before he goes in. Can I do that before?
You can make the stealth check now because you've already been sort of whispering and talking about plans, and then you can do it afterwards.
Look at that.
You'd be having to make a very loud noise to sort of, overcome the sound and the banter of these hill giants carousing here, or Chief Guard carousing. Well, with the
Ignoring
group
that-
stealth
Oh,
check, only half you have to make it, so only 3 people need to
Looks like-
succeed. So yeah, you guys
knock
are
over pots and pans.
keeping your
How about
plans
we
so
concealed.
she's yelling for food.
Yeah.
What food is she? Is it obvious what food would they be feeding her? These
Yeah,
goblins.
the elf.
Zendra.
So,
We just
That's it?
chunk her out the
Just some
curtain.
skinny little elf. That's all she's a 20,000-pound giant needs right now.
I think
At
she
this
very
constantly
moment.
eats.
Okay.
constant
Interesting.
like. I'm
So-
going to cast Pass Without Trace until Thomas the plan, so it will be more stealthy. So almost like the axle has. Tell him which one it is.
So-
seems to be
One of
kinda
the front
dodgy.
axles, one of the 2 front axles would work.
If you shoot that,
You
it'll
could do it
probably
with a
break.
melee attack. You'd have to get like precariously close to her.
Yeah.
So how about we range attack the axle and then her, and let everybody
Well-
stay in here and melee. Pick
Well,
up
wait.
anybody
If
that-
we expect her to fall through the floor, right?
Yeah. So if you hear
Do,
a
do I
big
need to go
noise-
down
Yeah, maybe. You could do
and
that.
wait for the crash so that I can be
Wow.
wailing on her?
We should all go down except for the shooter of the axle.
Yeah. I might
And
also
if-
shoot the axle as a backup.
if Thomas were to be the one to shoot the axle or do that, is there? Because you have flying abilities, correct?
I got a
That's
chance
right.
of a flying ability.
This is better than the rest of us.
Well, we have a fire scroll as well.
Oh, is there a
Uh,
fly scroll? Okay.
Pretty sure it was. Yeah, we've got a scroll of fly.
All right. So maybe take that,
Hand that to Thomas.
Okay.
and then yeah,
Yep.
and then just whatever happens, you have an escape route. You can just get the fuck out of here and meet us downstairs, and the rest of us will. It'll take us a little longer to get down, I assume.
Will you be able to attack from just kind of peeking through the curtain so that they don't actually have to see you?
Yeah, I
How many?
could think.
So when you looked, is she just like running the outside of these curtains, or how far away?
She's like
30 feet.
there-ish. Yeah, 30
Right.
feet.
So is she behind all her troops, or are they all like watching her?
They're mostly kind of watching. Well, most of them are watching the entranceway or just the center of the room. So some of them are watching her, some of them are not.
Okay.
But
And
they're all pretty spread out.
all right. Now, is there any way we can destroy that ladder after we go down?
Probably not.
If
There's gonna be a big hole though. They could just.
that was
jump
more a
down.
question for Seb, not Roderick.
It's a wooden ladder. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Fire.
Anything can be
Fire would
destroyed
work.
if you are persistent or hit it hard enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could start a fire on it and climb down on
A
a rope.
fireball would, like, probably, most likely instantly destroy it. And you feel like, yeah, these these hill giants, I mean, they won't really process whether there's a ladder there or not. They'll just jump down, fall down.
Oh, I see.
They're not that
Be better
smart.
if they climb down. We might be able to burn them down.
They're like lemmings. Have you ever played that lemmings game where they just keep going and they'll just fucking fall down? Shit, that's yeah.
All right, so we headed
Alright.
down to underneath her.
Yeah. So if we're gonna so we know roughly where it's in the hallway where she would be, or
Yeah.
can we align it better now that we're upstairs to where it is downstairs? Is it
Well,
still in that
there are
hallway?
these large holes in the ground with the crisscross wooden beams with like motes of light streaming down. So you could line those up with what you've seen
Oh.
below.
Yeah, if someone peeked up there and
Wait, didn't we already figure this out? That
Yeah, it's
It was
there.
all-
She'll land on like somewhere on that ramp.
Yeah, it was like that
Yeah.
hallway
No,
or the ramp.
She
Yeah,
she
wasn't-
is directly above the ramp, pretty much.
But isn't the entire ceiling all stone? From
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, but
Depending on like, do you think if she sort of rolled onto the wooden beam, she'd just crash straight through? To actually sort of crash through the floor, she'd need to actually fall from some height.
So this can all be for naught.
It could be, but at least we'll destroy a throne if it is for naught.
Hmm.
It's something. It's something
If
to
she
try.
doesn't go through the floor,
We just run away. Try again. Try something else.
well, what screwed us last time was going in where everybody could attack him.
Yeah.
So
How
if
how
Melee
high?
stayed in here and we range attack, focus her, and deal with things as they come in. Melee.
How high was the ceiling again?
In the building,
From downstairs, yeah.
30 feet.
The underneath, yeah, 30 feet. The cave is 30 feet.
I don't know. Either that or we just attack from here. And
Let's say we tried the wagon because we spent so long talking about it.
Yeah, at least that gives us
If
a
you
chance
use a
to
fireball on
isolate
the
her.
wagon, at least it'll do damage to her as well.
yeah, but the fireball may not take out the axle.
I'll also
Enough that she falls
note,
through.
Roderick, with your perception check, I mean, she's pretty much lying on a pile of refuse of her past meals.
Yep.
But there's also, you notice, like, some valuables. Like, her treasure is sort of buried underneath her as well.
Okay.
Coins and some gemstones and some other valuables that could be destroyed if you were to actually fireball the entire wagon.
Okay.
Alright, well, I can shoot it with an upcast chromatic orb with advantage if I use my tides, so
You
I'd
can
have
just
a pretty
do-
good chance.
As long as you got some spells as well still left.
I just burned my level 2 ones on.
I think a chromatic orb would not affect. Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
wouldn't
probably
affect the. It would just like go straight through the wagon. It only affects creatures.
Firebolt.
Firebolt would work.
Firebolt. Yeah, I'll stay up here because of the pass without trace. So I'll shoot an arrow at it as well for more insurance. Like hitting.
You feel like if
No,
you were
because
stealthy
You're
enough,
not going to move.
you'd be able to sort of sneak in, take a shot at the wagon, and quickly run out before anyone even saw you.
Yeah.
Well, alternatively, I can I can throw down a silent spell in there, and then maybe it'll attract less attention if it's.
They won't
you
hear her
can
yelling.
screaming.
That might be more surprising though, depending where you put it. We should, because of how loud they are, we should be fine for the noise. It's just whether they see us. I don't know.
Oh, you think
I
if
don't-
if something happens to Chief Gar, everything
Everyone
will know straight away what's happened.
Yeah.
He's like sort of
But-
just in the open.
With the pass without trace, we should be able to shoot our shot and get out.
Yeah,
run
all
as soon
you,
as we
all you
fire.
have to do is just beat their passive perceptions with a stealth check.
Yeah, but when you attack out of stealth, it supposedly immediately, unless you have like a feat or something.
Yeah,
Well, they'll be
something
surprised,
special.
possibly.
yeah, and then you'd sneak
We
in,
have a
you'd
turn.
shoot, and then you'd quickly run away.
Use our movement on that turn to run
Yeah,
away.
they're gonna know something's happened, but then you're not gonna have like 10 rocks thrown at you instantly.
Yeah.
Bolt of fire comes, hits the cart. They're not going to notice that, probably. I guess they might.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
gonna know.
well, until
They're
it
gonna
hits.
know. It's just you're not gonna be. You're not gonna be like. You're not gonna shoot it. Like if you just ran in there, then and just sort of start shooting it, you're gonna have a heap of hill giants just absolutely battering you with rocks and clubs, as well as the ogres. But if you snuck in and surprised them, then you'd be able to get in, take a shot, hopefully destroy the wagon, and then quickly get out of sight and run away before they have a chance to react.
Because basically we'll use our movement. We'll start to like the order isn't like use our movement to go in and then shoot. It's like sneak in. and then shoot.
Again, the whole sneak in. If she's 30 feet away, why can't you just kind of do
Well,
it
you need
from
to go through
the edge
this.
of the curtain?
Yeah, we can, but we basically will. We just want to make sure we don't get seen as we.
Right, you
Pass through
can
the curtain.
use the curtain. I mean, even if you just slid it back just a little, it's still cover for you. They won't know who's doing the shooting.
Okay. So the rest of us will go down, and is there any way for you to communicate with us?
Yeah, yelling.
We'll know.
I think you guys will
if
know.
it works, you'll know.
Magically,
You'll know.
I meant? For us to be in
I know.
position first. All right, whatever. give
Maybe
us
you
some
could
time,
just
we'll
give
be
him
done.
like 5 minutes. If he doesn't come back, just go and check the oven in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, just do that. Just
Or just sniff for the smell of smoking.
The smell of burning
make
hair.
sure you bring some diamonds with you.
All right. No more roast elves, all right? Or
Alright, I'm gonna move the 4 of you guys down onto the lower level. So
Alright. Thomas, were you shooting as well? Fireball, because you got the advantage on the thing.
Yeah. I'm shooting.
Alright.
Kid.
I'll put you back on
So
the top
Thomas
map.
Double our chin.
Give us about 20 seconds to sort that out.
Yeah, that's all right.
Roderick panicked, left all by himself.
I know when that's meant to go invisible. Not you, Thomas.
Just come down when everybody's dead, Roderick.
Let us know when you've got the job done.
We don't really understand how wide she is, and she smashes onto all of us.
The 3 of you are on that lower map, right? And then the 2 of you are on the top map still. Okay, so
All right, so we got to get to that hallway.
I would say, let's just wait at the top of the ramp.
Yeah.
That way we will not get squished.
alright, Thomas
feel
and
like-
Roderick, how long are you gonna give these guys? You gonna give them a head start?
Like a minute. Would be plenty
Should
of
we
time
go
for
past the X or before the X?
I was gonna this at the top up here.
Past the X?
No. This is the top where we're at right now.
Huh?
I'll remove the dynamic lighting for you guys because you actually have the vantage point of being on
Yeah,
top
because
of
it
the ramp.
goes down into the pig area.
You can just hear this cacophony of oinks.
Yeah, I know, but if they come down
Floating
the
away.
ladder, they're going to be coming up from behind us.
I think they're just going to jump through the hole in the floor.
Alright, Roderick and Thomas.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine either way, whichever way. If you want top or bottom. Sounds funny.
It does.
Giggity. Alright, Thomas and Roderick, it's been about a minute.
Yeah. All right, so stealth checks
Sweet.
to sneak. We
You
got
guys can both make stealth
from
checks.
Pass without trace.
Plus 10.
So 17 and
Thank God for past that.
Okay. You guys start your stealth mission. Oh, 29. I don't know if that's enough. Alright, this curtain is very, very heavy, so it's quite difficult to actually slide across. You'd actually, like, if you wanted to actually slide it, you'd need an athletics check, but you can just sort of slip through the gap.
sure.
Okay. Alright, guys, slip through, and using Roderick's pass without trace, you're pretty much just looking like a dark patch of shadow against the wall. You're surrounded by this sort of magical silence that is blocking any sort of sound, and you're not leaving behind any tracks either. You can just see the chief guard growing increasingly impatient. So impatient that she just reaches up and grabs one of these vultures flying around over her head and just sort of crunches it. You just can hear the bones sort of snap, and she just stuffs it into her mouth, feathers and all. Sort of spits out the beak on the ground.
Lovely.
And she starts sort of
better
just
shoot.
scratching herself. I'm hungry! And then she sort of, as she's scratching herself, she sort of, like a little drumstick sort of falls out from sort of around her gut area. And she just like picks it up and starts like chewing on it, like crunching bones and all.
All right.
Time to shoot.
Go for it.
All right, we won't worry about rolling initiative, but you guys have them surprised. You'll pretty much you can both make dexterity checks yourselves though to determine who will go first, or you could just actually you guys can just decide
Yeah, just
if you want.
use your advantage on that.
It's decided.
Thomas, you're gonna go first.
Am I?
Roderick. All right.
I don't mind.
You take a look at the wagon wheel towards the front here. Roderick points out the axle. You need to hit it, and you need to hit it with a fair bit of force. Like, not like anything crazy, but something decent.
All right.
Like a natural 20 kind of thing.
You no, like the amount of
I'll
damage.
get 2d10.
Yeah, you don't want to, you don't want it to be a shitty firebolt. Put it that way. Or you're going to be in trouble. All right, there's only a limited amount of time you guys can stand here.
All right. Shoot with advantage with the tides. Oh,
Thomas, you fire the firebolt,
Dear
and not
God.
only does it come out quite small, it just sort of spirals away and just sort of hits the floor, and immediately some of the nearby denizens, they start to sort of look over towards the curtain. And what do you do now, Thomas? You've still got your movement and bonus action.
Get out.
I'll step
Or you
back.
can quicken.
I can, yeah. It gives my bonus action.
All right, you quicken another firebolt, trying to hit that wagon wheel, and
Oh, no.
you miss it. It was a good firebolt, but it goes straight through one of the spokes of the
Does
wagon
it have
wheel,
advantage? Surprise?
and sort of no, doesn't work like that. Yeah, you just
Thought
sort
I'd
of
ask.
hit the firewall, or the spell just sort of dissipates.
Alright, then I'll move back 30 feet.
Yeah. I suppose I'll take my shots.
All right, you see Thomas miss, and
Team
you draw back
fail.
on your longbow, Roderick, and another arrow whizzes on by.
So do I get normal attacks? Do I get Dread Ambusher as well? For
You do,
one?
you do.
Yeah.
All right, Roderick, you line up. This time, what you do differently is you actually poke your tongue out, and that just increases your accuracy by 200%. And you
Gotta
hit
hold your tongue,
the
right?
axle, and it just it slams straight into the axle, and it knocks the wheel off, and the entire wagon just sort of buckles underneath her weight even more so, and she sort of falls forward and knocks into a nearby male hill giant, so knocking him back, and she sort of falls down like face first on the ground, and she's sort of, her head is facing north and her massive feet are facing you, and yeah, she only wears like a skirt, so
Oh no. I die.
she's like prone, and she's like, it just reminds you of like a turtle falling onto its back, not being able to get up. She's just sort of rolling side to side and starts screaming, "Ah, my phone!" But she didn't quite make it to the crisscross rafters.
Okay. I suppose I might as well put another arrow in her while I can.
Okay. It'll be a regular attack, advantage and disadvantage.
That one. And
Alright, you sink an arrow into her, and it just sort of, the arrow pretty much gets lost. You just see the tiniest little drip of blood, and it just sort of He just sort of starts scratching at the wound.
Is this curtain difficult terrain or anything?
No,
Is that like?
slip through it. It's like a wide enough gap for you to go through.
Try something next turn and hope that I don't die before then.
All right, at this stage, we need to roll initiative. Thomas and Roderick. Before that,
Yep.
So, where are you guys planning to go now? Are you going to stay here, or are you going to go for the ladder, or does that get decided on perhaps what happens next?
I am going to try to command her to roll into the. Great.
All right, I'm
hope
going to
for the
roll
best.
initiative, and then we'll just take it from there.
Yep.
And those that are downstairs, they're still going to. I'm going to roll them in, but they're effectively going to be surprised at the moment because they haven't seen anything happening. And
Does it look like I was still rolling?
well,
is it-
she's sort of falling on her back and she starts to roll from side to side. She's not like
Okay,
rolling,
yeah,
but she's just like she's trying to stand up. She's using momentum to just sort of roll from side to side.
Yep.
I just have to restart the API. It's gone down. And I think those on the other map, I do not think you'll see the turn order, but I'll just prompt you when it's your turn. And then, it might get confusing with the two different maps because I don't think the initiative will display for everyone. But we'll just see how it goes. All right, so just gonna roll.
Technically,
everything
we're
in.
not really in initiative right now, right? Because we're not even there.
Yeah. That's like why you guys are surprised. Alright, so ogres, giants, goblins, and hobgoblin. Roderick and Thomas. Yeah, I'll just roll you guys in when like next round. Alright, so yeah, you're up, Roderick. Your turn again.
Okay. So
Chief Guy's like below the actual round tracker. That's how slow she got. -3, -4 pretty much. On the initiative.
Yep. So I'm going to take.
Alright, you step back in, and at this stage, pretty much a lot of the nearby denizens are sort of, they have their attention on that curtain. You're in,
Yep.
let me just move the curtain out of the way a little bit more for you there, Roderick. I think you may be not quite in the darkness there. Yeah, there's some dim light where you are from, like, you know, these torches, these sconces. So, like, as soon as you step through, you've pretty much got the entire steading looking straight, like, at you, Roderick, spotting you.
Yeah.
And Chief Gosh is rolling around, just swinging this massive club from side to side, just screaming, "Get him! Get him!"
So I'm going to command her and hope she works. Okay, I'll do second level and command the guy next to her, to roll.
Okay. Alright, this is for Chief Gar.
Yep. She succeeds.
He makes a saving throw. And this is for the for Wuk, the hill giant next to her. 16.
Mine. Yeah, 15.
Alright, you throw out a command,
So-
but throughout all of the commotion, disturbance, your spell just pretty much falls on deaf ears.
Okay, so I've got 20 feet of movement left because it's first turn.
This would be your second turn.
Oh, this is.
Yeah.
Oh,
'cause
yeah. So we got.
You already had your
left.
first turn when you were shooting the
Yep.
wagon and whatnot. As Chief Guy has also sort of toppled off of the wagon, you actually see a lot of treasure exposed underneath as well, more than what you originally thought.
Okay. So definitely want to go back for that.
She starts yelling out, "Help me! Help me! No! Don't help me! You're useless! Let me get up myself!" She's calling out in giant, just scolding all of the male hill giants.
Alright. Shouldn't run so far back, but I'll push up to the edge of the curtain, peek through, and see if making her disappear will have the same effect.
Alright, you cast banishment on her. And,
Damn!
Wow.
extremely unlucky. Somehow she's able to just resist the magic.
Step back behind curtain, I guess. It's the end of my movement. So before I move back, I might as well quicken her.
You already used a leveled spell, so you can do a cantrip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll quicken a firebolt in her.
Alright, that is a hit. She's like incredibly easy to hit because she's such a large target, even at disadvantage. The firebolt just sort of slams into her side, just sort of blistered, causing a blister on her. Alright, so you guys step back behind the curtain, and the curtain pretty much gives you cover. It's a very like heavy curtain. You know, it's like 25 feet tall, caked in mud. A nearby ogre starts running towards you guys, and he attempts to rip the curtain straight down. But he's just sort of tugging on it, and he can't get it off. Goblins start snickering. You can just hear their voices. Alright, a Wuk, a male hill giant, he just sort of stomps over, and he actually, let me move him back. He's going to just push through the curtain. He just sort of slides it across. He doesn't not rip it down, but this with an like interactive object, he just slides it across, and he pretty much just like keeps on running almost straight past you guys, and then sort of looks down, and he's pretty much standing directly over the top of Thomas. Hobgoblin starts yelling out commands in Goblin. Protect your queen! Watch the rear! Watch the front! Stations! Sound the alarm! And you hear like the goblin that was like stuck in Chief Guy sort of become free a little bit, and he just starts yelling out, "Help me!" Alright, more male hill giants start thundering towards Thomas and Roderick. Those underneath can feel like shuddering of like the cave roof above you. And another giant makes his way towards the curtained area, and another giant as well. You guys can see these sort of silhouette. Those in the cavern below can see the silhouettes of giants and shadows being sort of cast above the gap in the ceiling. And another giant is coming towards you guys. He actually just moves up, and he throws a rock directly at Thomas at disadvantage. And it misses. And he throws another one.
I'll shield.
Alright, you cast shield. He sort of throws it in between the other hill giant's leg. And as the rock is about to impact you, suddenly it just sort of breaks apart. and these two shells of rock just sort of pass on by you, sort of splitting the rock in the middle with a shield spell. And this vulture just follows Chief Gar, trying to like pick at her still. Chief Gar sort of batting the vulture away. This ogre sort of just gets confused, and even though the threat is coming from the back, he does what the hobgoblin says, and the ogres just sort of move towards the front entrance, expecting trouble from that way. Chief Gar's turn now. And Chief Gar is refusing any help from the male giants. Instead, she's going to roll herself up onto her feet, but it doesn't really work like that. She rolls, and instead of standing up, rolls into that pit, breaking through the wooden cross beams and falling 30 feet down.
My spell worked.
Alright, so let me just put her on the other map. Yeah, she just crashes straight through the cross beams, completely split open. There's just a gaping hole in the floor now. And those on the lower level just see there's about 2 or 3 pigs underneath that. They just get completely flattened. They get turned to bacon.
Oh shit!
And she just sort of smashes down onto the ground, just completely like splitting the ground, causing it to shudder. And she takes some damage from that fall. It's not that much. It doesn't really look like it hurts her, but she does land prone, and she's just sort of swinging this club around, screaming, "Ah!" And she does not look like she's able to get up. Alright, so I don't know how this is going to go in terms of what you guys can see on the initiative, but I'm going to roll you guys in, and we're just going to swap between maps. Alright, for those of you in the cave, just sit tight and use theory of the mind, imagine what's happening above. Roderick, you're up.
All right.
Run away.
So I don't know if where's Thomas in the?
Thomas is right after you.
Yeah. Best bet's probably just to run at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a dash action and move really far, 50 feet.
Alright, the hill giant standing next to you, he's just armed with a large club and makes a swing. And he swings like way too high, straight over your head.
Run, Thomas.
Yep.
Thomas.
What's this ogre holding? Does it look like
He's got a bolt
Sorry.
launcher, a ballista, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Then I'm going to 30. And bonus action, I'm gonna quicken a ray of frost. Try to slow this guy.
It's a direct hit. You shoot a ray of frost into his leg, and it just ices up his kneecap, slowing him down. Alright, the ogres with the bolt launchers. Those of you downstairs just hear an ogre like yelling from atop the hole. Hey, Chief Gar! You okay down there? You mean to do that? Chief Gar just looks so angry. Meanwhile, the other ogre with the bolt launcher, he chases Roderick and Thomas, firing the bolt launcher at Roderick. No, it's going to be at Thomas. And a ballista bullet just
I didn't take my shield off.
it whizzes on by and slams into like a cupboard, knocking crockery off the shelf. Alright, the goblins, they're just like in hysterics. They just think it's hilarious that Chief Garth fell. And they're not really doing too much. None of you
They're not
guys
wrong.
see the goblins do anything. Alright, so now we're down onto the lower floor. And Than, you've got a nice present here. Chief Garth has just slammed down from the ceiling, just crashing onto the ground before you.
Okay. Now can we get access to her from here? Like
This ramp is 10 feet
Yeah.
above the pig pen elevation.
okay. So I'm going to move to there. And I'm going to as an action, going to use my Path to the Grave ability.
Ooh.
Okay, so the next attack on her, she will be vulnerable.
That's right.
And you
And
start to
then-
see her skin become sort of dry and blistery. Even more than usual.
And
You can hear
That's
a
all I'm
pig
gonna do.
screaming. There's still like an alive pig underneath her trying to like escape. Alright, this is back to upstairs. Alright, meanwhile upstairs, this male hill giant Wok, he continues to pursue you guys. And he sort of runs up here and he just knows you're around there somewhere, Roderick. It's dark here,
Yep.
so you're invisible. And he just starts swinging his club at you at disadvantage. He just completely misses. He hits the ground 10 feet away from you with that first attack. And actually he moved too far because he's slowed. So in fact, we'll call that a rock attack. And then he'll throw actually a rock at Thomas. Thomas, you'll have half cover from the table. And it doesn't help you none.
And I'm in the dark too, right? So I'll shield.
Yeah, well, he's invisible if he's in the darkness because he's a gloomstalker.
Oh, do they have dark vision?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Do they have dark vision? No, not hill
I
giants.
think before. Yeah.
So yeah, well, you're unseen then anyway. But yeah, you can see him. All right. So I don't think you're going to be able to shield at 22, Thomas. I'll still hit you.
Wait, you said I can see him, but he can't see me?
Oh yeah, you've got the dark vision spell on?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, because I was just thinking, because you're human, you don't have dark vision, but you've actually cast dark vision. Alright, in that case, he is at disadvantage. He just throws a rock to where he thinks you are roundabouts, and he almost hits you, but it just breaks off your shield. And that's the end of his turn. Alright, downstairs, we've got Ren.
All right, so this is 10 feet up. Can I just leap off the side and attack her?
You can.
Yeah.
It'll hurt a little bit. You can make an
I don't care.
You can
Yeah,
make like an
I'll be
athletics or an acrobatics check on the full to not fall prone.
Okay, I'll do athletics. So I'll go into a rage, and then
You're gonna do like a superhero landing.
yep. Well, I'm gonna try to attack her on the way down.
Okay, all right. Make an athletics check for the full to like not just crumple your legs. 14 is enough. You land on your feet.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna do a reckless attack and great weapon master.
All right, you have advantage because she's prone.
Okay.
You still want to do reckless?
No, because if
Yeah,
she's
just
already
no.
prone, then no. That way
Okay.
she doesn't have
All
advantage
right.
on
You
me.
sort of leap up and you sort of land down on her with that giant slayer, and you slash straight into her.
and,
all right.
and 10 on top of that.
You You take 1 bludgeoning damage from the fall,
Alright.
and
Shit.
you land on her, just sort of slashing through her blistery skin for double damage. That's 46 points, and you just sort of slash quite a deep wound, like right down her side. Just the stench of her, like, sort of rolls sort of unraveling, and all this food and grotesque, like, shit just sort of spilling out. This almost makes you vomit.
Good times. Alright, once more with Great Weapon Master.
Oh, was that a great... That first one wasn't a great weapon master, right?
Yeah, it was.
It was? Oh, so it was a minus 5.
-5, so
Okay. Alright,
So,
that's an extra 20 points of
17.
damage then. Alright, that hits her as well. And it still hits her hard, 18 points of damage. And
plus the giant. So she an extra
yeah,
6.
plus an extra 6. She's actually like already seriously injured as you sort of just land down. You sort of slash her across her neck and drag the axe sort of all the way down her side, just cutting a deep rivet into her. And yeah, she is like hurting quite badly. She starts sort of screaming and just yelling, "What you want? What you want?" In giant, but I don't think you can understand her.
Stuff.
Alright, she does actually try common, and it does work. Well, she does speak common, so she says, "What you want?" Alright, stuff.
Yep.
She says, "That's not how stuff work!" Alright, back upstairs. The hobgoblin just yells out, "You fools! Protect your queen! She's down in the hole! This is an ambush!" And yeah, Hobgoblin's gonna start moving around. Ignore Snurt. He should actually be down. He should actually be down with the queen. So as you're slashing the queen, Rend, you notice this goblin just stuck in her, just screaming for his life, with some near misses from your axe attacks. Alright, under the duress of the hobgoblin, this is exactly what the hill giants do. And one of them just jumps straight down, landing
Oh, man.
on Gar. Now I'm just gonna move these giants like sort of off the main map and onto the lower map, just so they don't get deleted from the initiative order. One of them just lands straight down on her and sort of bounces off of her like a trampoline. He sort of lands prone, falls down, takes a bit of damage, and he looks like a bit of a savage. He's got like blood painted on his face, he wears some hide armor, and he has one of these windmill blades. He sort of lands on Chief Gubb and is sort of deposited, I'm gonna say in a random direction away from her. You know, like if you sort of land on a trampoline and you're not really controlling it, you just sort of bong, you bounce off into a random direction. He actually lands to the south of Chief Gar on the ground, and then he actually just starts. He doesn't have enough movement to stand up, so he's just sort of landed on a few pigs. He pretty much just starts picking up some pigs and like tossing them, and they're like effectively rocks. He's gonna throw. This is at disadvantage because he's prone. He's gonna throw a pig at Rend. And the pig just flies past you and splatters against the wall. And you throw another pig at Rend, just reaching over. And this, he actually just, instead of throws it, he just sort of, Chief Guy just grabs it with her face and just sort of just eats the pig. Thinking like eating the pig is gonna like heal her wounds or something.
Snatches it like a dog grabs a frisbee.
Yeah. Alright, and here comes another one. Flab jumps down the hole, and he will also fall prone, and he's just as bouncy as her, and he sort of springboards off of her, and then I'll just see, it's going to be a random direction for Flab. he sort of bounces straight onto Garg, the hill giant that just jumped down. Flab sort of bounces there and then has to sort of stand up with half his movement, and then he just takes a dash action and just sort of hovels over Rend. Ends his turn there. And it doesn't stop there. Here comes Slog. Another hill giant jumps down after Gar. Actually, no, this hill giant is pursuing Rend and Thomas. That's what he does. He runs forward, and as he's running, he's actually going to take the dash action. And he just sort of dashes over towards Roderick, sort of near the oven he is situated. Alright, Chief Gar.
Are these giants not damaging her at all? They're jumping down on her?
Oh yeah, they're getting damaged. Yeah, they're taking a little bit of damage as well. I forgot to roll the last one. But yeah, they're...
No, the chief.
But
Yeah.
she's not?
Yeah, a little bit. Not really. She's so bouncy that, yeah, it's not really hurting them too much. So they're... I gotta take the damage off Flab. Alright, Chief Gar. She just gets quite angry and just starts swinging her club at you, Rend. She's not able to stand up, so she's at disadvantage. And she just whoosh, whacks you with the club for 12 bludgeoning damage. And she makes another attack, brings it around, and hits you for another 8 bludgeoning damage. And another giant is going to jump down. He used all his movement to get to the hole, and he bounces off her, springboarding in a random direction as well onto the ground. And he lands on Garg as well. It's just the angle that Chief Gar is. Gar is just sort of bouncing them straight onto one another. So he falls there and he takes a dash action. He stands up using half his movement, and yeah, the fall doesn't really look like it even hurts him at all. And he just sort of starts wading through the pigs. He gets up. This 10-foot ramp is like nothing for these giants, so they can just move across it freely. And he starts sort of just it's like a large step for them pretty much. Starts sort of moving up the ramp. And it's his turn there. And the vulture, it flies down after Gar. Not done feeding yet. Norin, you're up.
Finally, good God. That's what I get for rolling that one on initiative. Okay, so this guy is definitely starting to climb up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy isn't. And Chief Gar is still prone.
A lot of them, because they fell and had to stand up, they just spend this turn just sort of clambering to their feet for the most part.
Okay, what I'm gonna try to do. Oh, no, can't do it like that. Hold on. Well, shit. Okay, I can get there. I want to jump down here by Rend. So.
Alright, you can
Athletics.
do the same in athletics or an acrobatics check. Alright, you do land on your feet. You take 2 bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Okay. Try to take her out as soon as we can. So I'll start swinging with my longsword.
Boom.
And
Nice.
it's a crit. Alright, you as you sort of jump down, you land on Chief Gar with the giant Slayer sword, and you just sort of impale it into her neck. It's all the way up to the crossguard, and blood is just starting to pour out of her neck. She starts screaming, blood's pooling in her mouth, and she's just yelling over and over again, "What do you want? What do you want?" in common.
And then instead of pulling it out, I just wanted to like wrench it down to try to widen the gap.
All right, that is a hit. And yeah, you just jam the longsword in even deeper and sort of split it up through her mouth, just. And she just sort of jiggles, her eyes roll back in her head, and suddenly she stops thrashing about. Her head just sort of sinks back down flat on the ground, and blood just starts pouring out of her, and her tongue sticks out. Dead.
All right. I'm out of movement. I'll just. Yeah, I think that's it for my turn. I'll retrieve my sword as best I can.
Roderick.
Okay. I might just to get a bit of time. I'll tell these guys to flee. And get the command.
Can we like yell at each other through the hole?
You can yell up to the
That's doing
hole.
it.
There's nothing stopping you from yelling up to the hole.
Well, by previous assessment, how many are left upstairs?
So yeah, you guys know that there's 2 left upstairs from what they counted. 5 male hill giants in total.
Okay.
All right, a level 2 command on both of these
Yep.
guys. Slog and walk.
Yep.
They both fail, and on their next turn, they'll take the dash action to get away from you.
Yeah, I'll move further into the darkness.
All right, you move up towards the hook room. Thomas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm between wanting to hurt him and wanting to. But we don't know she's dead, so I'll use my last 3 sorcery points to quicken a fireball.
All right, it completely incinerates the corner of the table, catching it on fire. Roll on the wild magic surge table also. And yeah, as the fireball erupts, it just doesn't. It burns another table as well. The ground is just coated in mud and just gets a little bit scorched. And the 2 giants and the ogre, they just hold their arms up to try and sort of shield themselves as this explosion just sort of rips through them. DC 15 for 30 fire damage. As you do that, you feel like this surge of the arcane weave just sort of return to you, Thomas, and yeah, you're just empowered. So the next damaging spell you cast is maximized, and all 3 giants fail the saving throw. The hill giants don't look too hurt. The ogre gets scorched.
Alright. I was going to use my action to dash, but yeah. Wait, let me. Yeah, I'll dash.
Alright, an ogre pursues, sort of going around the table in the fire. And the table is difficult terrain for him because he's a lot bigger than you guys. he does take a shot at Roderick at disadvantage in his general direction, and the bolt just smashes off 5 or 6 clay pots from the shelf. The other ogre that's looking down at Chief Gar just yells out, "You okay down there?" Chief Gar's just like looking obviously dead, but the ogre doesn't really realize that. "You got them, Chief Gar!" He's just yelling down. And just gonna do some goblin movement. Alright, back downstairs then.
Okay, so Than's gonna yell up through the hole that she's dead.
Alright, when you yell out, yeah, your voice doesn't reach the other party members nowhere near, unfortunately. But yeah, you don't get any response.
Okay, and then I'm gonna cast So, this only one of them is prone right now, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna cast command at 2nd level, and I'm going to command the 2 that are standing to grovel.
Okay.
And as soon as I find this thing, okay, hold on. Command.
Alright, 2nd level command. Both hill giants on their next turn, they will fall prone.
Nice.
And their turn there.
All right, and then bonus action. You can't really do too much. Yeah, I can't think of anything, so I'll end my turn there.
Alright, upstairs, walk. He dashes away from Roderick using his movement and dash action. Alright, back downstairs we have Rend.
Alright, I just yell out to, congrats, you're in charge now. Not speaking to any specific giant. They can figure it out themselves. And then,
Right. Judging from their reactions, you feel like they've got no idea what you're saying.
then I got no choice but to attack the one directly in front of me. And I'm gonna use Great Weapon Master.
That hits him.
Oh.
Sorry, -5. I'll have to
-5.
Yeah, you can get a I have to build you like a built-in Great Weapon Master macro. I always get confused. Alright, so yeah, 10 is a miss.
10 is a miss. Alright. Once more.
And 19 is a hit. Alright, you slash into the giant's leg, and you just pretty much cut through mostly skin, hence the name Flab. But it does hurt him pretty badly.
And
Blood just starts running down his leg. Alright, upstairs, the hobgoblin keeps on just like yelling out orders, trying to rally the giants. Why are you running that way, you fool? The assailants are through the curtain! And you see a hobgoblin, single hobgoblin just sort of dash through the curtain. Meanwhile, downstairs, this goblin is finally free. He sort of gets free from Chief Gar. He's unarmed. He was just stuck in the folds of Gar's flesh. And he just sort of says, Thank you. Sort of thanks you guys for freeing him, and he's sort of like out of breath, and he starts sort of like crawling away, just staying prone on the ground. Alright, this giant Garg, he sort of gets to his feet, and he sees Gar looking like she's in a bit of a state, and he just starts like saying in giant, Chief, you okay? What's wrong with you? Starts shaking her, and like seeing that she's not responding, he just shakes her a little bit more, and then he like opens up one of her eyes, and then he looks at the other giants and yells, Dead! Mog! But the other giants don't really respond. They just are busy just sort of bowing down to Than. Alhamdulillah. They're just groveling.
Kneel before Than.
And that's what they do. Upstairs, you've got like probably the most meanest looking hill giant. This is like, you would liken it to like Chief Guard's personal guard, because he's got his windmill blade and he's wearing hide armor. He's gonna run away, taking the dash action. He runs up after Walk, and the hobgoblin just looks astounded. What are you doing, you fools? The enemy is this way! And Bug, that giant, he also just grovels. The vulture just is quite happy now because it can just freely peck at Chief Gar. And Norin, you're up.
Well, they know she's dead.
Don't get all sympathetic with these fucking giants at this point.
Well, yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm not going to. Trying to figure out what I'm gonna.
Norin extends a hand. Come with me if you want
Fuck
to
it.
live.
Let me help you out.
Norin is nice. He's
You're
not that
okay.
nice. Since we already attacked this guy, I imagine he's probably not going to be cool with letting us just go. So let's go ahead and finish him if we can.
No, they just cooked one of our people.
Yeah.
Just
That
keep
hits.
that in mind.
At least it was the right one.
You stab into Flab, just
Was it?
just inserting the longsword as deep as it can go into his side.
Do that again.
Another hit, and he's like a pincushion. You just keep on stabbing him, and he's only just now looking like a bit injured with multiple sort of stab wounds all over him.
I'm going to put my unwavering mark on him with that second attack. Yep, that's pretty much it.
Alright, back upstairs, we've got Roderick.
Yep. I will take some shots at this ogre in the darkness. No.
And that's a hit. An arrow just sort of hits him in the shoulder. Another arrow sinks into him, causing him some reasonable injuries. He's looking hurt.
Yep, I will move to there.
Thomas.
So far.
Alright, there's a little bit of light coming off this fire that you've started here. So I'll just like sort of adjust that. So you can probably see that ogre. He does have like cover from the table leg. But you can see an ogre underneath the table over here.
I have something different in mind.
And that's all that you actually see as well, just that ogre. And maybe a little bit of the hobgoblin just yelling out orders.
I can see these guys.
Oh yeah, you can see them as well. They're quite a bit further away. I think they're out of the range of. Oh, they're not out of the range of fireball.
So let's spend the spell slot.
I mean, max damage too.
Yeah, I didn't want to waste max damage on one.
No.
What is that?
Alright.
48.
Yeah, 48
Six.
damage. Okay, both giants just have a fireball explode in between them. And yeah, it's like the biggest
Wow.
fireball that you've ever seen. It just
What's your spell save, Tom?
really hits the
15.
giants hard. It burns off most of their flesh, and the table that it hits, it doesn't catch on fire. It just is completely incinerated. It just turns into ash.
Nice.
Alright, the ogre with the ballista keeps on running after Roderick Thomas, firing at Thomas. At disadvantage, sort of firing into that general direction. And just as well, it's disadvantage. Oh no, sorry, the ogre, he has dark vision. Sorry, Thomas.
Crap.
The only things that don't have dark vision are the hill giants themselves. Alright, it's a direct hit for 33 piercing damage. Just pretty much a fluke. The ballista bullet just slams straight into you. Direct hit. Alright, the other ogre yells out loud, "Dad!" And he has to check though, to be sure, so he shoots at Chief Gar to see if she reacts. And he sort of almost like sort of shields his face and his arms like for repercussions, and then he sort of pokes through a gap in his fingers, sees Chief Gar doesn't react, and then he yells again, "Dad!" And then he just disappears from view from above. And the goblins just you just hear them sort of chiming, "Holy shit! Dad! Quick! Get the wolf! Run!" Goblins are panicking and screaming, "Ah!" Running around like crazy. Ben.
So this giant, what did it seem? What was it doing? Just checking to see if the chief is dead.
Yep.
Mouth to mouth comes next.
Oh man.
I think if he tried that,
Other end for Matt.
it'd probably just like fall into her like her stomach. Like.
Okay. I'm going to attack this one here that's prone.
Alright, he's at about your level. You are like sort of 10 feet above him, because he's so large, yeah, you can just sort of stab into his back from that height.
Okay, I'll try that.
He's prone, so you have advantage.
All right.
And it's a crit.
Cool.
Alright, you stab into Flab the pincushion, and it's a good stab, but it's still just like you have to stab him so many times. He's looking hurt.
Yeah. Bonus action, spiritual weapon.
Alright, you cast a spiritual weapon, and it hits. Sort of causes a ripple up his flab, and it sort of leaves a pretty nasty bruise. Splits open his skin. He's looking pretty hurt now.
All right, and I will bonus action disengage.
You just use your bonus action.
Oh, sorry, that's right. Sorry, my bad. End of turn.
Alright, this giant just screams, "Dad! Dad!" And he just sprints off. He runs for the entrance, fleeing. Friend.
Oops. So this guy's he's prone in front of me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
His head
we'll
is
go
like
crit.
sort of on the ground right next to you.
Alright. Great weapon then. -5, so 15.
That hits.
Alright. So there's 17, 18, 19, and 8, 20,
27. Alright. You just sort of hack into his neck, and you can see why this guy's name's Flab, because it's like a protective layer that you have to like cut through like an onion.
Alright, once more. 13.
And that actually misses. It just hits like a leathery neck skin bounces off.
Ugh.
The hobgoblin starts to look around, quite confused. Just sort of like yelling at the giants. What do you mean? The queen has fallen? And he looks a little bit worried. And let me just see how he's going to react. He actually heads back inside. Snurt just keeps on crawling away. Still trying to catch his breath. Alright, this feral looking hill giant just confirms Chief Gar is dead. And he just looks at the other ones. Run! And he starts sprinting away. Just kicking pigs out of the way. Knocking over pig troughs. And making his way for the nearest exit. Flab. He sort of helps himself up. But he looks quite angry. And he just reaches out and grabs Chief Gar's club. And just tries to bring it down on you, Rend. And hits for 16 bludgeoning damage. Oh, disadvantage. Or 8 bludgeoning damage because the unwavering mark.
I wanted to also do a. Well, it only adds 1 to AC, but it does give him resistance to the damage.
Okay.
Again, so.
Oh, that adds to his AC?
Yeah.
Alright, and does it use your reaction?
Yeah, that uses my reaction.
Alright, you try to block the incoming attack. Still hits. And then the giant actually attacks you, Norin. It looks like he was about to attack Than, but then gives you an angry scowl instead. Goes for you. And
That's it.
it whacks you for 21 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Alright, back upstairs. We have Slog, who, despite looking like a loyal guard of the Chiefs, he runs as well. He just follows Wok screaming, "Dad! Dad! Run! Run it!" And back downstairs we have the hill giant Bug. He, he helps himself up and he starts running up the ramp and takes a dash action. The vulture's just picking away at all of the delicious scraps. And Norin, you're up.
Alright. I will take I'll take my bonus action, Unwavering Mark attack. First.
That misses. It just scrapes along Flab's leather skin jerkin.
Alright. Then let's do the regular attacks. One.
That hits. And you just take a leaf from Ren's book and just go for the leg. And just slash straight at the joint, just slicing Flab's leg straight off. Crashes into the pig trough. Falls over. Breaks the pig trough apart and the pigs start going in to eat the giant. It's horrifying.
Oh. Wow. All right.
Pigs are so hungry they just like create a cloud over the giant. Just all you see is just some
Ren won't be eating bacon for a while.
snouts and teeth just cover the giant completely.
All right. And then I'll climb back up the ramp if I can. Like to, get back up.
Yep, you can make an athletics check. It costs 20 feet to get up. Yep, that's easily done with a 19. Back up the top of the ramp. You can just hear the loud crashing footfalls of the giant moving away from you.
And that's my turn.
Alright, upstairs, it looks like the giants, just as you may have suspected, they seem to be kind of displaced, calling out the chief guard is dead, so it looks like the plan has worked. There's still a few stragglers.
I'm gonna check a hunter's mark on Ogre next to me. Take a couple shots.
That's a hit, and the arrow sticks straight into his neck. He's almost dead. And you place another one in his neck, and he just sort of spins, topples over, hits the ground hard.
So yeah, then I'll move up and start making my way back in.
Thomas.
Alright. There.
It's just when you need to be the walk with the Eldritch Spear thing.
Yeah.
It's like the only time you need that though.
Yeah, so I'll...
Alright, you dash up. It looks like all the denizens are actually running away from you as well. Thomas. An ogre is going to actually run. Sort of just makes his way to the curtain. And the goblins are actually heading for another room. Just panicking and screaming, just adding to the chaos. Just going to do some movement. They pretty much just look like they're just running. Alright, then.
All right, I got a couple questions. So the giant that was prone just took off down behind us, right? Towards.
The one that, wait, there were none prone. It stood up.
The one that was here. The one that was here was actually prone,
Okay. Oh yeah, he ran off. He's running away.
and he went that direction.
He went east. One of them went east and one of them went west.
Okay.
They're both running away.
Yeah. Gotcha. My second question is, how high from this platform is the hole in the roof
20 feet.
or the ceiling? All right. So would I be able to make that jump?
What's your strength
I
score?
try to jump. 19.
Then yes, you'd be able to do it. It would require an acrobatics check because it's an awkward angle. But yeah, with your ring of jumping, or your boots of springing, sorry, you'd easily make that jump.
Okay. And you said it would be an acrobatics check?
Yeah, because it's an awkward angle. There is a chance of you just like sort of hitting the roof or something.
All right. And so, okay. Are we letting these giants run away or what?
You might not be able to chase him. Can't tell though. If you can
So-
stop him,
You'd
stop him
have
if you want.
to. You have to have something to aid your movement if you want to keep up with them because they run faster than you guys.
10, 20, 30.
I'd say that like just relentlessly hunting them down would probably be considered somewhat evil as well.
Yeah. Oh, well,
So
cooking
it's-
elves is pretty evil too, so I'm happy to retaliate at this
Well,
point.
the reason why it's evil is because the giants are enslaved. The Mail Hill giants are enslaved by Chiefgar. And they weren't actually cooking the elf, the goblins were.
Yeah. Still not.
It wouldn't
I'm
make
gonna-
you evil, but like it would start to tip you towards like the evil alignments.
Yeah, it's just. I think at this point, Than seeing her body all crispy and stuff is not really in the mood to. I'm gonna command this guy to approach.
Okay. Alright, he fails, and on his next turn, he will move towards you and end his turn.
Okay, and then I'll move my spiritual weapon as much as I can towards me. I don't have control.
Okay.
And then I will end my turn.
Alright, upstairs. Alright, yeah, the giants are just fleeing. They're like finally free of being enslaved, so they run away. And they're sort of somewhat rejoicing at the same time. Rend.
Alright, guess I'll go ahead and climb up the wall here.
Alright,
Is
make an
that
athletics check.
athletics? Alright.
Yep, it costs you 20 feet to get up, and 26 is
Alright.
like more than enough. So that's 25 where you are.
Alright, so 20. And then I got 20 more feet, so 5, 10, 15, 20. So I'll just move right there.
Alright, Alright, we have one hill giant is just long gone. Can't even hear his footsteps anymore. Lab is dead. And Slog go upstairs. Oops. Okay, where is Slog? Yeah, he just runs off as well. Just dashing away. The giants run off to the hills. And Bug. Alright, so this giant, as he's trying to flee, he turns around and he approaches you, Than, ending his turn within 5 feet of you. Norin.
Feet. Do I get the sense that if I like ran past him that he would try to swipe at me?
Yeah, he looks pretty aggravated now and sort of just snarls and like yells at you. You let me come? Okay, me crush! And instantly just takes on a nasty disposition.
Okay. Well, in that
Raises
case, I will not run. I will
his,
not run by them.
He raises his barrel of pickles at you. And gets ready to use it.
All right.
You swing at him and it misses. He does have this sort of barrel armor. It looks like sort of pretty much like large windmill barrels that he's sort of created arm and leg holes on that he's like sort of using for armor. A 16 managed to cut through it though. And you just sort of stab him in the leg and he sort of falls down to one knee and he's looking reasonably hurt. That's a pretty decent slash.
And I'm going to put my unwavering mark on him without attack.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
Roderick.
You muted there, buddy.
Alright, moving up, looking to the main steading, it's pretty much completely clear, except for a couple of hill giants that have sort of made their way up to the main entry hall. Roderick? You're on mute.
Whoops. Yeah, I just said I was gonna run up as far as I could, which was to there, and I wanted to make sure not stealing the loot.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all I do. 50 feet on a sprint. So up to Thomas.
I can run under the table, right? Or is it
Yeah,
difficult?
you can go. No, you can go under the table. It was just difficult for the ogre because he's like bigger than you.
I want to avoid the fire anyway. Dash up to. Ooh, goblin, hobgoblin, by the treasure.
Yeah, when you move up to the entryway, you see the hobgoblin just grabbing as much of the treasure as he can. Like,
Hey, I'll drop it or die.
he's like carrying this, like, it looks like a puppet set, and he's got like the strings of the marionettes like sort of slung over his shoulder. They're gold strings, and the puppets are wearing bejeweled costumes. It looks like it's worth thousands of gold. And he has a flower pot under the other arm, and he just sort of laughs, ha ha ha, never fool! And he looks like he's sort of already got what he wants, and he's about to start taking off.
Thomas, he stole your brother. Get him to drop the flower pot.
Yeah. Yeah.
The flower pot looks like it's made from jade. Green flower pot. He just sort of yells at you, I've sacrificed too much for naught! I will take my earnings! Be done with this place. Strength and honor.
He just adds that in.
Run with honor. What I'm gonna try to get close to him, keep him from getting.
When you misty step towards him, he sort of places his hand on the hilt of his longsword. Haha, you really want to do this? You want to fight in melee combat with a seasoned warrior such as myself? I shall not deny the challenge. Strength and honor.
Don't mind fighting one with his hands full.
Alright, yeah. You start to see goblins on the back of wolves, just like using the wolves as mounts. Just like sort of sprinting away out of the area. But goblins are trying to, like, there's only 2 wolves and there's like 5 goblins. So the goblins are like trying to like tackle the 2 goblins that are escaping, and they're just getting in a big scrap. Oh, I think I just deleted like half the dynamic lighting. Oh, it doesn't really matter anyway. But yeah, they just end up tackling each other, and there's just a big kerfuffle of goblins happening in the corner, just randomly. Alright, then.
Okay, I'll move my spiritual weapon up for the attack.
Alright, you have advantage. That hits. Alright, the spiritual weapon sort of splits through some of the wooden planks that constitutes his armor.
Okay, and then I will, as an action, channel my divinity to the grave.
Alright. You, again, just cause this giant's skin to become sort of dry and crackly.
I will end my turn.
Okay, Luck. I think most of these hill giants are gone now. Yep, he's out of here. Ren.
Alright, alright, others attacking, so I'll move up here. He's not prone, is he?
He is prone.
Oh, he is prone. Okay, then, alright. I'll attack.
11 is a miss.
Alright, once more.
The axe sort of splits into a portion of wood. 19 hits.
Jeez.
And, well, still 34 damage. Yeah, you just sort of hack the axe into him, splitting through his armor, and blood just starts to sort of pull out that wound. Alright, this hobgoblin, he's not going to turn away from a fair fight, Thomas. So he just draws the longsword, places the pot down gently at the ground, and attacks you. Ah! He misses terribly. I see you are also an expertly trained warrior. I live for the spoils of war. Strength and honor.
Especially.
Alright, just gonna, while I'm up on the upstairs map, just gonna have another giant run off. And go over to Gog, where is Gog? Starting to lose track of where these guys are now. Where is Gog?
He ran off to the east.
Oh yeah, he's gone. Alright, so we've just got Bug. Alright, his pickles are spilled out on the ground, and he is angry. He stands up and he roars. And he's going to try and... he just looks down at the pickles. You made me spill pickle! Me a bite pickle! Now me no bite pickle! Or me still bite pickle! And me bite you! And he reaches down to try and grab you, Sam, and take a bite out of you. And his massive fat fingers just sort of swipe like completely out of the way and missing you. And he tries to grab you again with his other arm. He's just too slow, and he just sort of grabs the air. Alright.
Alright, let's continue wailing on him with the sword.
That's a hit. Alright, you just slash at his Achilles, sort of slicing his ankle there, and it causes him to sort of fall back down.
Alright, let's start working on his head.
That hits. Alright, you stab him sort of in the shoulder, and he's close to death now.
Alright.
He does try to like slurp up some of the pickle juice while he's down there. It's spilled onto the ground.
It's like a healing potion.
I'm gonna bonus action second wind.
Oh, good roll.
I like it. And that's my turn.
Right, Roderick.
Alright. I'm gonna move up a bit. Should I be able to see him? Is this all meant to be walls here?
No, that's the platform that the
Okay,
goblins are running up because the hill giants kept on stepping on goblins.
Sure. Then I'll move my hunter's mark to the hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin sees this sort of hunter's mark target sort of appear on him, and he sort of looks over at you. And he looks at you, and then like looks at Thomas. What is this, human? This is not strength nor honor.
Ha ha ha.
Strength in numbers and honor in camaraderie. So I shoot him.
New rule.
So
He
I
sort of
shoot
says,
him.
"Wait!" and then you just put an arrow straight through his eye socket, and he sort of falls forward, and the gold string from the marionette gets tangled around the axle of this wheel and sort of suspends him half in the air like a puppet himself.
Dummy.
Yeah. Is there anyone else I can see? I can see these goblins. How far are they? Yeah. So disadvantage to shoot one.
Yeah, they're just like sort of tackling each other, trying to fight over the wolves, pulling at the wolves' tails. The wolves are yelping. And
Don't let that stop you.
which one are you attacking?
Just the closest one.
Alright, you just send an arrow up in like a wide arc and it falls down and sticks into the goblin. And he doesn't die. Thomas.
Hmm.
They don't look like they've got loot on them, do they?
The goblins.
Yeah, they're just.
I mean, it's pretty hard to see from that far away. They're just like
Yeah.
a couple of 100 feet away, so they just look like little blobs, pretty much.
Yep. But
Wrestling
they're not
around.
especially shiny, and they're not carrying like
No,
a giant trophy on them.
Yeah, but don't want him to get into any mischief. I'm not going to throw the template out, because I assume I can hit all of them with a
right.
fireball.
Roll on the wild magic surge table. Alright, you decide. You decide no one gets the wolves, and you just burn them all.
Love it.
If we're gonna fight over him, well, nobody
Oh,
gets
shit.
And you get transported to the astral plane. Alright, Thomas, you disappear and you just find yourself in this sort of sea of this blue and pink sort of wind. You can breathe in, it's quite sweet, you're just floating in the air. And coming towards you at rapid pace is this enormous worm with like a single eye, massive claws, and it's
God.
about 200 feet tall. It's going to be
Oh god.
It's going to be upon you in about 6.5 seconds. Bad.
All right, I will take a stab at this thing.
That's a hit. Alright, you thrust the short sword sort of into his neck, and he's still alive. You come in with a spiritual weapon, it just sort of bounces off of him.
All right.
Frantically slurping at the pickle brine, hoovering it up.
Alright. Attack.
And that's a hit. You bring down the giant slayer and just sort of slice him in the neck, killing him. And well, I think that's it.
I kick one of the pickles into the water.
Sweet. When I reappear, I'll come over to the edge and say, "Oh,
Alright. I think we should head back upstairs. Make sure the others are okay.
I agree. Alright.
yeah, let him get up here. I don't think I can carry all this treasure."
Yeah, I definitely can't myself.
Okay. Yeah, the goblin snout is just sort of crawled off. And the three of you make your way up the ladder. And when you arrive up the top, you just find your other two companions surrounded with some dead goblinoids and whatnot. I'll just put you guys over in the steading, and just all of the denizens have fled. A few of them got away, but the steading is just now completely empty, vacant of all creatures.
I like look down the hall. I can't believe that worked.
No kidding.
Okay.
Well, I guess we better
There's
check out her treasure.
yeah, this place absolutely stinks. There are like scraps of food all over the floor around the base of the table legs. It's just like mud and filth, and it's absolutely disgusting. And there's just like a bit of a silence here now. You can just hear like the sound of the dammed river just sort of flowing underneath you, and other than that, just absolute silence. So the wagon throne, it contains a number of things. First, like the bulk of it is coins. It's 5,600 copper, 2,200 silver, 630 electrum, 150 gold pieces. The copper, I think, weighs about 100 pounds. I don't know if you want
Yeah, I think we're
take
basically
it.
full on the copper.
Yeah, fuck the copper.
Okay, I won't post the copper, but I'll make a note that it's still there. And so you guys get that. 2,200 silver, 630 EP. And the gold.
Might have to drop some of the copper that we have in here already. So we got 3,000. If we just drop the 3,000 copper, then we can pick up the rest of this stuff that we have.
Alright, so
like,
drop the
straight up.
copper, and then there'll be 8,600 copper sitting there.
Go to
Alright.
300.
There's some other items as well.
9.
There's a wooden rocking horse, and this is all sort of lying amid the refuse of her past mills. All of it is quite filthy. A wooden rocking horse with silver inlay and blue quartz eyes. It's pretty large, so someone will have to literally just carry it. It's worth 25 GP. Or you could just take out the blue
Leave it.
quartz eyes. Or you could leave it if you want. It wouldn't be too hard for a single person to carry though. If you want it. Someone want to take it?
I'm good on the
Sure.
rocking horse.
Roderick is like not that strong, and he's already carrying a bunch of just traveling gear, so he can't carry much.
Does anybody have any kids?
Yeah.
Um,
Just pry out the
yeah,
eyes.
pry out the eyes.
Alright, the eyes are worth 20 GP, so 2 10 GP blue quartz gemstones. There is a small wooden chest among the refuse. Inside is a disguise kit. Just like a masquerade mask, some porcelain teeth, some makeup, and a wig. Whatever else is in the disguise kit. There is a wooden coffer containing 6 vials full of water. They're labeled holy water.
Can I inspect them? Is it true?
You could,
Drink one of them.
Yeah, you can make a religion check. I don't know if it actually if you could actually tell much of a difference without I don't know, tipping it on a tipping it on undead or something, I guess. But yeah, I mean, if you're a cleric or a paladin, I'll just say you can automatically determine that it's holy water. You just taste it. It's got this sort of
Holy
silvery
water,
taste.
spicy.
Yeah. It tastes like blue Kool-Aid. Alright, there's a life-size statue of a grinning halfling smoking a golden pipe among the refuse.
So the
That's
pipe is the only thing that's gold?
Yeah, but it's a single piece. So, worth 25
Good take,
GP.
mate.
The gold
Oh, so
itself
it's
is not really
half
worth
size.
that much. Yeah, it's like the gold would probably be worth like 2 GP. If you broke it, it'd probably not be very valuable at all. There's a battered hat, but it has sewn into it 5 carnelians worth 50 GP each. Total of 250 GP.
Nice.
Hat sort of flattened. There is a gold flute just sitting there among the refuse. The holes of the flute are filled with scum.
Oh,
Could blow on it and clear it out a bit. Worth 250 GP.
Nice. Yeah, don't suck to clear it out.
And then there's the flower pot carved from jade. It has images of green dragons on it. Worth 750 GP. And then there's that wooden puppet theater. It's got gold trim on it, along with gold string puppets, and the puppets are wearing bejeweled costumes. The entire puppetry set is worth 2,500 GP.
Ooh.
And there are a couple of items around, lying amidst the crap. When I say a couple, I literally mean two. There is a bag filled full of fuzzy balls, little fluff balls, and it looks magic. A
We
magic
can have
bag.
Pokemon battles now.
It's rust
Look tricky?
colored. It looks tricks-y. Not tricky though. It's rust colored.
Because I know, because I think Lily has something
Yeah,
similar to
She's
that.
got one.
Oh, she's got a bag of tricks.
I think so.
Yeah,
All right. In that case, ignore that because I don't want to give you guys.
she's got a grey one.
I don't want to give you guys doubles.
We
There's
can play.
a
We can have Pokemon battles with them though.
a magic wand that looks like it would be suitable for a mage that's about to go into war. +1. And bring someone with them. And the potion itself, it sort of is a red liquid. It doesn't look like a potion of healing though. It has sort of smoke coming off of it, sort of resting in the gap in between the cork and the liquid. And someone can taste it if they want. Identify it.
Thomas will taste it.
When you taste it, you burp out like a bit of fire. Bleh! And it's like kind of spicy like hot sauce.
Ooh,
Potion of
heavy
fire
intake.
breath. And potion of fire breath. I don't actually think that's in the SRD, so I'll have to get that from somewhere. I'll give you guys a handout for that. And you can identify the wand as a Wand of the War Mage +1. There's also a conch shell, a magic conch shell, which needs to be identified. It's got a rune set into it, and anyone who can read Giant realizes this is the Uvar rune.
Okay, I'll relay that.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Uvar means something in Giant. It means... What does it mean? Uvar. It means storm. Storm. It's a storm rune. Uvar means storm.
Okay.
Storm ruin.
Rune.
Were you in it?
Yeah, so it's carved with the storm rune.
Ruin.
And needs to be identified, which you guys can do shortly when you take a short rest.
Yeah, I would like to take a short rest.
Okay, it takes probably about an hour anyway, like count up all this treasure and that. So everyone take a short rest. And yeah, you identify the wand as a Wand of the War Mage +1. The potion of fire breath, and the conch as a Conch of Teleportation.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
So the Conch of Teleportation is very special. It's very unique. It's an ordinary, albeit rather large conch shell. It's been inscribed with the storm rune. 2.5 feet long. Very big. Weighs 20 pounds. Not something you can just sort of really hold in your hand unless you're a giant. And only those chosen by Anim the Allfather may be granted to use the conch's power. As an action, you can cast a teleport spell with it by blowing into the shell. The destination's fixed. There's no chance of a mishap or the spell being off target. It always 100% takes it to the location. Anyone teleported by the conch appears in the specific location designated by the item's creator at the time that the storm rune was inscribed into the conch. Does not allow teleportation to other destinations, and once the spell is cast, you can't use it for another day. Until the day has passed.
Oh
You've
my.
got no idea where
So-
the destination is.
So we'd have to
so
use it to see where the destination is.
I would say it would be. It would not be very wise to use this at this point.
Well, it's a shell, so obviously it's going to be a beach.
It
So
says
there's a
storm, and it
storm
could be a
room.
storm giant castle
Yeah.
or something like that.
It's possible.
I don't think we're ready for storm giants.
I don't think so either.
As far as you guys have heard, there is not been any threats from storm giants. Storm giants are not evil as well. Well, actually they can be, but they're not typically even. And they are at the top of the hierarchy.
Oh, wait, wasn't our friend in the flying castle a storm giant?
It was Cloud, I think.
Cloud giant.
Ah.
Yeah, cloud giants are also not... Like, they can be evil, but they're not
I think the hit
automatically
die.
evil.
I think the hit die API is down.
Okay. Okay, I'll fix that up. So who wants to take that potion of fire breath? You can drink it and then like you can do like 3 fire breath attacks with it.
Within 30 feet of you, so one of the frontliners, probably. Somebody that doesn't use their bonus action a lot.
Yeah, that's the
If Norn doesn't want it, then I'll take it. Otherwise,
Think
Roll off.
I think it'd be better for you to take it, because you're gonna be more in the shit than me, more than likely. And I can use my warding. I can do my unwavering attack. Occasionally with my bonus action. As a fighter, I have a lot of other stuff I can use. So as a
Okay.
bonus action. So-
yeah, I only use mine if I crit, so or kill it something.
And who wants to take the Wonder the War Mage?
Well, that sounds like
Riddance.
something Norn can use for sure.
Can be used by any
Riddance, maybe.
spellcaster.
Yeah, for attack rolls, so probably either Lily or Tom.
Does it work for
Tom.
spiritual weapon?
It should do. It's a spell attack, right?
Yep. Spiritual weapons and melee spell attack.
What cantrip do you use?
It's not going to be as useful to me as it would be to Thomas.
So the fire breath goes to Rend.
I would definitely use it.
Yeah, I think.
Alright, yeah, someone
You-
who does
you
a
do a
lot
lot
of
of
attack
offensive-
rolls.
Cantrips, so go for it, man.
And everything except fireballs and attack roll, I think. Almost everything.
Alright, you can attune to that when you get a chance. So, +1 on spell attack rolls and ignores half cover, which is very handy. And then the conch. Who wants to hang on to that conch?
Do we have room in the bag of holding left, or is it tapped out?
I'm sure you could do a little bit of
Yeah.
shuffling. Throw it in the
Yeah.
back.
We've got like
Norn can hang
a
on
bunch
to
of weapons
it
we
if
definitely don't need in
nothing
here.
else.
I'll give it to Nora.
I mean, we're not gonna. I don't figure we're gonna blow it at the moment anyway. So
No, but it's big. It's 2.5 feet, right? So
Alright, well, you're not sure if you could actually use it because you have to be chosen by Annam.
well, Norn's a big dude, so
Well, you might be chosen from Annam. Maybe like your great, like 150 great
I mean, regardless,
grandparents were chosen
you
by
can just
Annam.
leave it in the bag of holding anyways. It's not like you need to carry it around with you out in the open.
You do need to be attuned to it to use it, but yeah, you can put it in the bag of holding. Okay, let's take a 10-minute break now. Get all that sorted out. I'll
Alright.
see you guys back soon.
Cool.
How's everyone doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Doing all right.
Yeah, we survived.
Surprisingly. Oh.
It went better than expected.
Well, it makes a difference when Thomas can actually cast spells. So, just saying.
Alright, so you guys have pretty much raided the wagon, and Grudhog is empty. Chief Gar is dead, and the remaining hill giants have fled into the hills. Another
Did we need to
follower-
search
The other
her?
room. She just had a skirt on, I think.
Yeah, she, I mean, just is covered with filth and just wears this sort of ill-fitting reed skirt and some sort of scraps covering her body in mud. But all she had was just like a club as a weapon and nothing more of value.
You don't know what she's got hidden in those folds.
That's exactly.
Well, she did have a giant. She did have a goblin hidden in those folds.
Let's see. I'm telling what else is in there.
Unless it is magical, I do not want to have anything to do with it.
Oh, it's magical.
You never checked out this room over here, though, did you?
It could be a whole nother level, a cave inside Gar.
I'll try to peek around this curtain here.
It's pitch black outside, and you just see 60 feet. Just what looks like a wooden platform leading to like a muddy road. And you can sort of see the tall watchtower sort of looming up as a silhouette in the darkness.
Uh-huh.
So do we want to get out of here?
I think we're done with this place, but there's nothing else for us to.
Yeah, boy.
Unless
have
you guys,
accomplished
you know,
the
there's this room back.
Out here, there's a dock. It just sort of leads out into the actual the lake, and you can actually see another curtained off area with a bit of a glower of torchlight.
Where are you at, Thomas?
Out back side of the kitchen.
Okay.
To the north edge of the kitchen, and then to the right. And then...
Alright, as you step through the curtain, Thomas, you see another room here. There is a bedroll, a large barrel, some crates, and a fishing pole leaning near the bedroll. They're not giant size though. They are humanoid size, and you hear a noise sort of shuffling around near the crates. Like there's something here hiding.
So you can come out, the giants are gone.
Hobgoblin reveals himself. Ah,
Ah,
Do not fight with honor.
so you have found my humble abode. Congratulations! I was merely fetching something from the crate when you arrived.
you get stuck.
Who gave you permission to enter my quarters?
And let your compatriots
At this
die
point-
with you. They're not-
Yeah.
And then he looks over at you,
What are you
Than.
doing?
You! Who gave you permission to enter my quarters? And he sort of points you out, Than.
I command him to grovel.
Alright, before you're even able to cast a spell, he just draws his greatsword and he charges at you. In just blind rage.
Knock him out. Let's
Roderick,
try to figure out what the hell's
Jesus
going on.
you can,
So is it this
Move
room
this-
that the noise is coming from?
yeah, you can move the curtain aside.
Yeah, you're there. You're right there, bud.
I'm just gonna shoot. I can bonus action because it's been less than an hour, right?
You guys
Oh no, we took a
did
rest.
take a short rest.
Yeah.
By the time
so
we're
we'll just
done searching the folds, man, that's a few hours work there.
shoot him.
Want to try to knock him out? Oh,
That hits him. and he just barely flinches. You fire again, it glances off his armor. He does wear like a half-plate mail.
And Druid.
And another arrow, he just sort of jumps to the side.
Damn, it's like a Legolas over there. I take a few steps. I command him to grovel.
He makes a wisdom save. As you cast command, he was whispering. He gets a 5, and on his turn he will just grovel. He'll fall prone. But the entire time he just like yells, like insults at you. Oh, you foul elf! I'll cut off your ears! I'll raze your entire forest! I'll rip you into shreds! I'll kill you all for being in the mere presence of this foul creature!
After I command, I slowly walk towards him.
It's like, just after I tie my shoelaces.
Thomas.
Down.
Alright, I think I just want to keep him far away from me, so I'll trust Riff. Or not.
It's a miss.
+1, yo.
No, I haven't attuned to it yet. It took the rest to...
Identify.
Yeah, so next rest I'll attune.
Rand.
Alright, alright, I guess we're killing this dude. So, rage.
I guess I'm killing you, more like it.
Let's see here, rage. And then, just go ahead and reckless attack.
That hits. You take a swing at him, slashing him. The gap between his armor.
Yeah. Once more.
It's another hit. And another slash. You hit him very hard, and he's bleeding quite badly, but he's trying not to show like that he's hurt. Ha 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 ha! Spits blood on the ground. You're outmatched and outnumbered. Fools, you have entered the Watermaster's domain. I'll even give you a free shot. Come on! And he sort of kneels down. You'll need it!
Really?
Tom said
He's
not
going to
you.
do. All right.
Come
And,
on! I'm only allowing this to be a fair fight. And that hits.
I try to put my sword through the back of his neck.
You just drive it down and just hits the ground dead.
He said he would give a free shot. Oh, all right. Well, his loss.
Suddenly a hand grabs you, Norin, and he looks up at you. And then he just chokes.
Drink
Fully
the honor.
dies. Yeah, strength and honor, and then dies.
I wonder why hobgoblins were helping giants.
They were probably promised many rewards.
Is there anything worthwhile in here that he was trying to get?
You just see a barrel and 2 crates and the bedroll.
I feel like there's a
Whose
secret.
domain did
he
he say we entered? The Watermaster?
Yeah, like you presume he's talking about himself.
Can I check for secret doors?
They can make a perception check, although it wouldn't make sense for there to be any secret doors because all of the walls of this room like lead into the rooms that you've been into.
I defy your logic.
Okay,
Check the crates that were behind him.
then yeah, there's no secret doors.
Damn it.
All right, the crates are full of food, some jerky, some rations. Just the rations are just sort of wrapped up in like these little leather pouches sealed with wax. Inside there, yeah, some jerky, a bit of chocolate, some fruit, some nuts, and other like food that won't expire for a long
Yeah,
time.
there's no telling what this jerky's made of, so I'm not touching it.
Does he have anything specific on him other than like his armor and weapon?
No, he you notice he has like sort of he looks like he sort of smells like fish for starters. I mean, he's just got a great sword, a javelin, some half plate mail. You can make
Taking
actually an
javelin.
investigation check, Naren.
Okay. Huh.
You,
I don't
yeah.
get past the javelin.
You're not really finding like, too much about him by examining him, Naren.
Javelin vision.
Yeah, I just see the javelin and that's it. I just pick it up. Oh, look at this.
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
I guess we should check the barrel.
The barrel is actually packed full of fish.
Ugh.
There could have been a secret trap door in the floor. In my defense. On my roll.
What does it take to get armor adjusted? Because he's got half plate, doesn't he?
Yeah, you could take it to a blacksmith. Depending on like where you go, they'll give you a price. You're
Yep.
thinking it'll probably be hundreds of gold, couple of hundred or something.
Yeah.
Is it too big for any of us?
Half plate is usually like you can just wear it. It's full plate that needs to be like custom fit.
Okay. Currently, I've got splint armor. So actually, no, the half plate's the same disadvantage, isn't it? It's the breastplate that's so there's
Yeah.
no difference for me.
So toss the bed.
No, I'm curious. I want to see what.
All right, you toss the bed, Thomas, and underneath the pillow there is a book
Yes.
called "The Watermaster
Mounting the Queen.
Milks Himself." Do you want to read it?
That title just got worse. with every
Yeah.
word.
I'll kind of shake it to see if any pages are stuck together before.
All right, it tells a story
Milk it.
about this druid who lives in the high forest, and he sort of wanted to explore the world, so he branched out away from the high forest, and he began visiting many farmsteads along sort of the routes around the high forest and many farms, and he actually befriended a cow. He'd never seen a cow before, so he became fascinated with the animal, and the druid actually awakened the cow. So the cow became intelligent, and then he actually sort of really began to like cow's milk. So he taught the cow how to milk himself. But the druid didn't know what milk was, so he called the milk water because all he knew was water. So the cow, he called the cow the Watermaster, and then the cow would milk himself.
He was actually a
They live
minotaur.
happily ever after.
An awakened cow.
I'm gonna start
So,
stripping this thing.
And you
All
learn
his armor.
it's actually a non-fiction as well, a biography. If you're ever in the area, look out. Keep your eye out for an awakened cow.
If you ever need to get in a candle,
I've decided I want his armor. I'm stripping it.
Okay. Yeah, it's half plate. You can take it.
I'll help him out. So I can do it a little quicker.
Alright, you can equip it. And other than that, yeah, this place is just looks like a place where this Watermaster would maybe catch some fish, work on the dam, things like that. Any part of the dock that needs repairing, so on and so forth.
well,
Whoops, I just completely closed my page somehow. Gotta reload.
Oh, that would be like 15 minutes for me. If that happens.
Alright, yeah, so apart from this place just sort of smelling like dead fish, nothing else of interest. Barrel full
So
of
do we
fish.
want to
Crate
start
full of
heading back
rations.
towards civilization?
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
We need to go kill that wizard that tried to poison us.
So that was half plate plus 3, right? Okay, great. Thanks.
Wait. What wizard tried to poison us? What?
The one that gave us the potion of tried to kill Lily.
Which one? The potion of neutral.
Poison
The
resistance.
poison resistance.
Yeah, that son
Uh,
of a bitch. The other one that must die.
I must have
Yeah.
missed that. Oh,
When we
you mean like the Dragon Master guy?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Oh, so that was not. Okay, so that was not a poison resistance potion. It's
At
just-
least not the one that Lily drank.
Okay.
Then might be evil.
Yeah, I feel like
Must have
maybe it was mislabeled instead of potion of poison. Like it was a potion of poison that was mislabeled as potion of poison resistance.
Yeah, off with his head. Let's go.
Bad luck.
Or we might. We need to find our frost giant guy.
It's getting pretty late for your characters, so probably want to like
Oh,
look at resting.
maybe we should just hang out in this room here.
I think that's a good
Looking
idea.
Pretty good.
Yeah, you can
Norn would like
read
to
the
get his
book.
horse.
Someone can
Yeah.
read bedtime story for you guys about the self-milking cow.
I'll lay out
Yeah, you
my
go and
phone.
get your war horse, Naren, and yeah, you just had it
I
like
can't
sort
even
of.
remember what it's called. Like I know it had a name. Like Moonshadow or something.
Best not to get attached.
Shadow
Alright.
facts.
Moonshadow. There we go.
Yeah, I was right.
Okay, so yeah, you guys rest up here. Everyone take a long rest. You're only here for a brief, 6-7 hours or something, and then you just get your shut eye, take a long rest, and some of the sunlight comes peering through the curtains to wake you guys up in the morning. You prepare your spells. You can cook something on the oven. There's already a roast there if you want.
Okay.
Oh god.
Or not. And yeah. So you guys ready to leave Grudd now?
Yes.
I think so.
Alright, you finally leave the Hill Giant steading. So how do you guys feel about that? Taking out this very evil Hill Giant Lord who was enslaving male Hill Giants and sending them out to the surrounding region to pretty much just rob farms, dig up root vegetables, steal livestock, and raid people's houses, and they even attempted a very brazen attempt to actually rob golden fields, which would have been very detrimental because that's where a lot of the food comes from this region.
Yeah. We got revenge for Li Fang or whatever her name was.
I think we did a very good deed.
It feels very gratifying to put these evildoers to the grave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can cross that sort of
I'm
chapter
addicted.
off. But do you guys felt like it furthered your quest to save Faerun? Going off the visions at Morak.
Well, if she didn't have a headband of intellect.
Y'all, we didn't search our roles.
Well, she didn't seem very smart. Like, I mean, she
It can only
could
take you so far.
form 3-word sentences, but other than that, she didn't exactly seem like someone who was intelligent. Like headband of
Yeah, we
intellect
don't
makes you
know.
like super smart.
So this giant
This guy may
chief.
have just had a vision of all the pigs and interpreted it.
So we actually haven't found the one responsible for transforming into people into pigs, then, right? Is that what we're establishing here?
Seems like it.
This is all from a
Okay.
dream.
Looking back on it, did any of the male guild giants have fancy headwear?
No, none of them
Okay.
seemed smart enough to have a headband of intellect.
Well, if they had a headband of intellect and they were pretending to be one of her underlings, they would be pretending to act not so smart. Did I just complicate things?
No headbands of intellect were found.
Am I overthinking? I might be overthinking.
I mean, there's multiple giant lords though.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
killing Gub is a good thing, regardless.
Yeah, I wish we'd been able to question one of them to see.
Yeah, we certainly helped the surrounding area.
Somewhere if there was.
Well, we've questioned hill giants before,
Oh, yeah, but not
and it
hobgoblins.
has not really rewarded any relevant information.
We always swear that we're gonna keep a hobgoblin alive, but we never do.
Yeah.
Things in honor.
That's wicked.
Alright, so where to next? You guys wake up, it's a nice, bright, sunshiny day. And you've got a spring in your step, also a bit of hill giant gore in your step, and you're ready to move on to your next adventure.
Well, I think the only thing we have left down this farthest south is that, and we don't know if it's. Oh no, it's not down this. It's way up. It's way up north, right? Isn't this where that one quest is?
Long saddle? Which quest?
They're all circled, the quests. Or at least they should be.
This one is particular to Ander, so I wouldn't want to do that without him here.
We should, as punishment.
We could finally
quest
talk
for
to.
him.
We could finally talk to Tanlin about the reward for checking out the Evermores.
I say we go.
We're
I
gonna
say we
have to
go
go
north, far
up
to
to
the north.
Harshnag eventually.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Harshnag, whatever. That.
Yeah.
place.
So
Yeah, this is. But yeah, Rend is sort of. Like, there's 3 different things that have pointed you to Harshnag so far. There was like Rend, like meeting with you guys, and then there was.
The ancient green
the green dragon. And then the third one was, I think, one of the members of the Harpers in Everlund told you to go seek Harshnag as well. Mr. Crowlin.
And we've just been
To Harshnag.
faffing about, you know.
Hey,
Well,
went
you've
to Thomas.
accomplished something pretty major because you've pretty much saved like this entire region, which was like under threat from hill giants.
Hey, did we release the sheep at least so they don't die in the pens?
No.
I mean, we
What
can.
about the pigs?
No, well, you're pretty sure like that halfling, he took like, you know, the sheep whisperer.
All right.
Most of it. You can release them. You can just let them be free. Like some
Well,
orcs or something would kill them.
I'm gonna send a message to the halfling. I'm gonna send him a message and let him know that the giant fort has been cleared and all the sheep are his
All right, he says.
and the pigs.
He addresses his wife and says, "Grilda, hold my teaspoon," and then that's the end of the message.
Fantastic.
So yeah, in terms of where we're going, we're gonna have to move back to the road regardless of where we go from there. But I would say go north up to, and just stay on that road up to Calling Horns.
Well, isn't there So we're going to Calling. Well, if it's like we're right in
We
the
can
middle.
just-
Because
we
if
can
you go to
teleport.
Amphel, isn't there a teleporter in Amphel? That's the closest one. And then go to Yarder.
I think the quickest
Waterdeep or
would be
Everlock.
Yatar because you can just get the Desert River, which is like really way quicker. It's like 4 times as quick going on foot, or even quicker than that. It's like really fast. So, well, pick your next destination first.
Harshnag.
Shoot the Harshnag.
Calling Horns is kind of on the way.
I mean, like the first named destination that you guys are going to, so we can just at least get there. So, I mean, to get the quickest way to get to Harshnag would be to travel to the Desert Hills. Go to the Desert River. There's like a little town here called Red Larch. Actually, it's not even on this map. There's a little town there called Red Larch. Actually, no, it's right. It literally is on the map. So not that far, but you could go onto the Desert River. You could go through the Desert Hills. If you see some cultist activity, just ignore it. If there's like elemental cultists, you're pretty sure someone's got that covered. And take the Desert River
Parallel
up,
universe.
and then you could go up to the Yatar. There's a teleportation circle there. You could teleport to Everlund and then make your way on foot.
Perfect. I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably the best.
Sounds
What
good.
was the reward? What was calling?
I can't even remember.
You just want to lay low in Yatar. You probably don't want to spend too long there as well because
Hands of the Art.
you guys, well, you guys killed one of the guard
What did we do?
captains, even though the Water Baron sort of overlooked it. You
It
feel
wasn't us.
like they'll probably still have to put out like a wanted poster or something.
Not the first time.
All right, so it's gonna take you guys a good 1 day journey to just get onto the road here. So about a day. All right, you travel through the morning, through the afternoon, through the night, and you guys don't have any encounters. You arrive on the road, and you just sort of make camp here. You just stay at a little wayside inn. The next day, you make your way to the Desert River, where you sort of wait for a little bit for a passing barge, and then you sort of just like flag them down. And again, you guys can try and buy passage. They're heading straight from Waterdeep all the way up to Yatar, so you can try and buy passage from this area up to Yatar, or you can try and act as guards. What do you guys want to do? It'll be a persuasion check. Someone make a persuasion check to try and get free passage.
Yeah.
Thomas will give it a shot.
I look at Thomas.
That's my.
Give him a little guidance. Yeah. You heard me.
Persuasion, you said, right?
Yeah. Alright, yeah, they're happy to have you as guards. They say that there is reports of some hill giants like raiding this area, and also they've heard that the Desert River that runs through the Desert Hills has been quite dangerous. There's been like attacks from orcs, and also some dwarves. A dwarven delegation had gone missing, so people were weary. And yep, so you guys hire on as guards, and you head up through the Desert Hills, and you break out of the Desert Valley. However, there is a bit of a problem. The Desert River is blocked at this location. There is a massive pile of stone. This is large. This is like a wall of stone. It's not an actual wall, but it looks like some like 10,000 pound blocks of stone. Multiple of them have been plunged into the river, creating a dam, and it's impossible for the barge to get by. So there's actually like about a half a dozen sort of merchant vessels here, barges with stock, just sort of stuck and they're unable to get to Yatar. People don't know what to do. There's no way that anyone could move these things. And as you look up, people are sort of pointing up. And you're actually directly above Stonebridge. Now, Stonebridge, it's a gigantic stone archway. It's like a 2-mile long bridge from end to end. And it's 400 feet above you guys. It spans the Desert River, and the plain around it remains high and dry, even during the worst springtime floods. And I would say that Roderick is the one recalling the information about this, because it's actually a sacred site of pilgrimage for many dwarves. Long ago, the dwarf creator, Moradin, was said to have appeared at the top of the bridge, and he rallied dwarves from the Ironstar clan against a horde of orcs. And the founder of the ancient dwarven kingdom of Belsamere, Grudd Flametongue, died fighting a hill giant in this very same location where you guys are. So a lot of dwarves from the Desert Valley, particularly the Belsamere dwarves, they've actually come to this area here to try and sort of, they've already started working on sort of quarrying away the rock and getting it removed, but it looks like it's going to take like many weeks. So you guys are not going to go any further by river, unfortunately. The bridge itself is made from very smooth fused granite, and it's only 15 feet wide, and there's no railings or barriers. So if you're traversing it, you're at the mercy of the strong winds. If a headwind catches you, it could just blow you straight off. And yeah, when you guys look up, you notice the dwarves are sort of pointing at the actual bridge itself, and there's like a chunk of the bridge missing. And people are sort of just saying like, what could have done this? What could have caused such destruction? And the dwarves are saying it would be like taboo for them to like sort of go on the bridge in its like destroyed state. So none of the Belsamere dwarves are like going up onto the bridge. And you guys just look up and there's just a 400-foot bridge, like a bridge 400 feet above you all.
So if we got out and looked on the other side of these blocks, are there people that were coming downriver stuck on the other side too?
Yeah, there are people in the same situation on the other side of the river. Not as many, but yeah.
So we just need to see if we can hire one of them to take us the rest of the way to Yarder?
Yeah, you could try and you'd probably have to like pay them quite a lot because they're not heading in that direction, but that's definitely possible.
We can just take the road up to Calling Horns and then back to Yatar.
Yeah. We got
Take
something
one.
to do there anyway.
Yeah. It's an option. Or we could go up onto the bridge and see what's happening.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested.
Alright, so do you guys need to vote on it, or is that unanimous that you guys want to go investigate the stone bridge?
Unanimous.
Let's do it.
Okay.
I have decided it's unanimous.
That's some,
No objections anyway.
I had some artwork of Stonebridge. I'm trying to find it, but it's pretty cool. You like gives you a good picture of it, but I can't find it. Anyway.
I know which one you're talking about.
All right. So it doesn't matter. Okay. So you guys can approach from either side of the bridge. You're pretty much dead set in the middle. It's like a 2-mile journey, west or east, to get to the start of the bridge. Or unless you could just sort of fly up 400 feet.
I just say go east because that's the side of the road that we'll probably be going from.
Yeah.
Don't know if it matters.
All right.
So I vote west.
Okay, you guys decide to head west or east.
East.
Okay.
East.
All
I
right.
go west.
So you're traveling along the stone bridge, and like it's pretty, like, if you're afraid of heights, you're not gonna like this. It's 15 feet wide and has no railings, and the ground is 400 feet below you. I'll move over to a map for you guys.
I command the height to grovel.
Does anyone have Featherfall ready?
Nope.
No.
I didn't prepare
We're
for
totally
today.
not prepared. It's fantastic. Let's
We
do it.
can wait a day
For what?
for Featherfall.
I suppose.
All right, so you guys are traveling along this bridge, and it may be like a spiritual journey for you, Roderick, seeing that Moradin, your creator, appeared on this bridge and rallied dwarves from the region. You're almost at the area with the break. It's still like a good maybe 1,000 feet away. Due to the curvature of the bridge, you can only see like a couple hundred feet ahead. You can see like the Desserin River down here now, and as you guys are going along, there is a bit of a strong breeze. It just suddenly hits you out of nowhere. It's cold up here, and yeah, there is some wicked wind. So everyone make a strength saving throw, because the wind could push you straight off, and yeah, you're going to be falling at like max falling distance if you fall.
AKA
it-
probably death.
Is it possible for me to cast Bless if I know that we're going to be fighting this sort of thing? Would I
It
have
lasts
the
for a
forethought
minute.
to do that?
And this is like, it's
Oh,
probably
okay.
about an hour
That's
that you've
gonna be-
been traveling.
Okay, never mind.
The chance of you casting Bless, you'd have to be like a druid or something and predict the weather or something.
No, I didn't realize it was like a long. Like I thought we were just.
Yeah, the bridge,
booking it.
it's 2 miles from end to end.
Okay.
And you've traveled about 3/4 of a mile. You're quite close to where the break should be.
Well, there you go.
All right,
I
Fan.
was worried.
It sort of knocks you prone, but you don't fall off. It just
Okay.
knocks you to your feet.
I fetal.
Okay. So yeah, it's very, very smooth,
Move
kind of
to
slippery,
center.
It's my new home now. That's where I'm gonna live.
and there is some bloodhawks sort of flying at this height. They're not. I mean, you've fought bloodhawks before. They're not being particularly aggressive, but you feel like they may, like, if someone sort of straddles behind, they may sort of swoop in and try and grab someone. They're pretty vicious animals. And yeah, you can just see like a few wisps of cloud in the area. And you guys can move up. Continue your journey up the bridge. The ground below you is just everyone looks like ants. You can see like all the barges sort of piled up.
I kind of want to.
So what are we doing up here exactly? I mean, we're just gonna see it's broke.
Yeah.
I kind of want to call the rest.
Because
of
Ren's
them.
not exactly an engineer.
Roderick's Mason.
This is a divine path.
I think Roderick would probably be the best in terms of explaining.
Thomas is.
He's a mason and a dwarf.
So you want to crawl, Thomas?
Yeah.
Okay, you can
What?
crawl. I mean, if you think about it, it's only 15 feet wide. I mean, it's pretty wide, but there are no railings and it's smooth and it's windy, so... I mean,
Just walk in the middle.
personally, I'm afraid of heights, so I'd just probably be shitting myself. Alright,
Command
as you
command
guys...
Thomas to run.
As you guys come up, again, the curvature of the bridge, it sort of limits your sight of what's ahead until about this location, where you see a fire giant coming towards you all, and he has a little hellhound, just sort of running up, sort of in the middle of the bridge, sort of growling a little bit and coming towards you guys, approaching from the opposite direction. And the fire giant has this enormous greatsword in one hand, and he has this adamantine rod sort of just tucked. It's like a 4-foot long rod just tucked into his belt.
Of course.
And
Or maybe he's just glad to see us.
Me too.
But I'm cha.
and he doesn't seem to have like a bag of rocks. But he does have one chunk of rock in his hand, and it's a chunk of granite. It looks like the same chunk of granite, like it looks like the same material of the bridge. When he sees you guys, he looks like
joyfully.
He looks like he's spoiling for a fight, and the hellhound starts like running up at you guys, and the fire giant, starts running up after him. And Thomas, you may be able to...
Norin.
Thomas, you may be able to crawl away if you're quick enough. Crawl.
Maybe he won't notice me.
So he just starts rushing you guys.
I command the birds to attack him.
And yeah, you've seen a few fire giants before. He's got plate mail on and a massive greatsword.
Check.
Yeah, he spots you guys from like at least 100 feet away, just because it's just there's not 200 feet away. And that's when we'll roll initiative.
Do you have grease, Thomas?
Nope. Sorcerers don't get to do any spell.
I'm going to move up. And then, how far is it? 30, 50, which is perfect. I'm going to just start shooting him with arrows from my longbow. Get your own bridge.
That misses.
Oh shit.
Second arrow
He
hits
has full
him.
plate on, probably.
Find a gap in his plate mail. Yeah, he's got plate mail on. The arrow just looks so small, sticking into the giant. The 16 the arrow just shatters on his armor.
It's not the size that counts.
Yep.
You can feel the bridge sort of shuddering and almost bending under his weight.
No.
Running towards you.
This is a solid bridge. It's not going anywhere. Don't say such things.
Alright, let's see. 40 was right beside Than. And then
Yeah, I'm staying in the center.
yeah, I'll move up beside or right behind Roderick. I'll let him protect me.
That's a good idea.
Thomas.
I'll stand up. And yeah, action all. Action I'll cast a cold chromatic orb at him. Use my Tides of Chaos advantage.
Okay. Done that artwork as well. So that's what the stone bridge looks like. This is you
Cool.
guys
That's
there.
cool.
There's
That
Thomas.
looks awesome.
He has his Wand of the War Mage. There's Zindra at the front. Oh no, wait. Never mind.
Wait, who?
We
I
already
forgot
forgot.
to equip that.
All right.
So it should be a 19.
Okay, you send a vitrolic ball of ice that just slams into the fire giant. It just sort of sheaths a portion of his armor in ice and just sort of visibly sort of slams him off to the side. And yeah, you can just hear like the crack of the impact of that. He just sort of dusts his shoulder off a little bit. Actually, are you even within 90 feet?
Oh,
I'm
it's
just
not-
within 150, so
Alright, yeah, so Thomas, that spell actually just, it doesn't consume your spell slot. Well, actually, you'll need to pick something else. Usually I'd say that, I mean, it would just waste it, but you can pick something
yeah,
else.
I didn't realize it was that far away.
Because it would just
Um,
phase out. Actually, I'm going to say it doesn't consume your spell slot, but it does take your action.
okay.
The spell sort of fails.
Fair enough.
Alright, the Hellhound starts bounding towards you guys. Quite a bit ahead of the fire giant. It just looks like a dog that its flesh is made from like sort of hardened magma, and there are these little rivets of fire sort of pulsating throughout its form, fire coming out of its mouth, red eyes, and it moves pretty quick. Clears like 100 feet in its turn.
It's more like a big rat than it is a dog.
Giant fire rat.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. I am going to. Let's see here. I'm going to cast. I'm going to cast Bless. I'm going to cast Bless on Roderick, Thomas, and Rend.
Okay, just
Thank you.
I will find the spell and I'll click it, but I'm going to back up a little bit
Okay.
to about here where I'm at, and then I will end my turn.
Alright, this storm giant starts running at you guys. And he moves forward. He's not that quick. He's actually slower than the hill giants. Because he sort of got this armor on, so he's sort of running forward. And then with this large chunk of granite, he just throws it at Than at disadvantage. Throws out the furthest backest person. And the granite comes up in a wide arc and lands directly on you.
So I just watched this giant rock like just coming for me. I don't fucking move or nothing. I just take it.
You
in the
try
face.
to, and it hits you. That's what your AC's for.
That's what I'm telling you what I did. I'm just telling you what
Oh.
happened. I'm giving you a play-by-play.
Okay, if you want to do that, you accept your fate and you embrace the rock. It hits you for 25 bludgeoning.
A minor flesh.
as it's coming, I used my stone cunning to tell you about the stone. Oh, it's a lovely piece of granite. Looks like it was quarried in the...
That's what distracted him and made him get hit.
You probably don't want to get hit by that one, Than.
And yeah, now the hill giant just places both hands on his greatsword, and he's all out of granite. Roderick tells you. You can tell by the dimensions of the granite that it's not possible that he carries more than one piece.
Exactly.
Alright, Norrin. And do you have Warcaster then?
Nope, I have no idea why I did that. There was a major lag.
Okay, alright, that does knock the bless off.
Alright, I'm gonna run forward my full 30 feet. Then I'm going to take the dash action. Get to right up by the Hellhound. Then I want to action surge. I want to use my first attack to push this thing 5 feet if I can.
Okay. It sort of.
Actually, I want to try to grab it instead.
Okay.
I want to grab a hold of it.
It comes sort of skittling
Just
to a
jump off the
hole
bridge.
and just sort of digs its claws into the stone bridge. Make an athletics check. And you just grab it by the neck.
And then I think I have enough. Let's see. I was by Thomas, I believe. So with the dash action, 45 feet. So I would still have 15 feet left. Can I use that to just chunk it over the edge?
You have you can move it 1 square because your movement speed is halved while grappling it. Which
Okay.
it's not enough
then
to get it over the edge.
Okay, well then I'll move
Just push
forward. Yeah, I'll move forward right here, and then I'll use my other attack to attempt to shove it off the bridge.
Yeah.
You could have just jumped while holding him.
Nope.
The fire giant yells out in
That's
giant.
the barbarian way.
Let it go!
Okay.
All right, and I kick it over the bridge.
Telson?
And
Nice,
even as
dude.
the hellhound
Oh.
tries to
Oh my god.
skittle
look at that.
free, the
That's
giant
fucking crazy.
fire giant yells out, "Not like that!"
War.
And you see the hellhound just sort of waving its
Is
legs
this the
about,
Matrix?
and it just explodes into a little puff of fire somewhere in the Desserin River below.
You just
Alright.
threw a hellhound into water. I'm sure that would be.
400 feet drop,
Oh.
it's like hitting a cement wall.
I'll slam the tower shield down.
And it's super effective. It's the hellhound's weakness.
Point my sword at the giant.
It's like the worst fear for a
Kill
hellhound.
them.
It's climbing a bridge over a fucking river. What do you think?
And then I will laugh, and as a bonus action, I'll hidden step and go invisible.
Okay.
Do it again. Pick up that giant and throw it off.
I wish. Too big. That's my turn.
Perfect.
I'll just check my hunter's mark again. As far as this, oh, yeah, 90 feet, so I can't. I am just going to take some more shots at the fire giant.
Alright, you continue peppering some arrows into it. Both arrows hit, and they're only doing little to slow the giant down so far. It's minor injuries.
I'm gonna accidentally knock Norin off since I don't see him.
You can hear me. I'm making plenty of noise.
And right in front of him would have been 40 feet, and I'm not dashing to this monstrosity. So I'll take the dodge action just in case. Who knows what happens?
Okay. Thomas.
All right. Going to. All right. Sorry, my screen's doing the weird. I'm gonna dash. Can you move me up next to Norn?
Sure.
I'll reload after my turn.
Alright, that's 45 feet.
And then I'll quicken the chromatic order. Try this again.
Alright, you're just in range this time.
Exactly.
Alright, roll on the Wild Magic Surge table. Just
Oh god.
a frosty ball slams into the storm giant. The fire giant, sorry.
Everything around you turns into mud. No.
All bridges within 60 feet disappear.
Oh no,
Oh.
that's a bad one.
Oh my god.
That is...
Oh my
That's awful.
That is...
That's the worst thing that could happen.
absolutely terrible, Thomas. Why couldn't you turn into a pot plant or something?
Yeah.
Alright.
As he's smiling the whole
It's-
time he's saying it.
It's not a big area confusion.
Okay, good. That was my next question.
It's
But-
gonna catch
It's big enough to hit the three of you.
us. Oh my
Shit.
god.
10-foot radius.
May the saving throws be with you.
Wisdom saves for the three of you.
Wisdom.
Here we go. Damn it.
Shit.
Alright, it
Oh,
is a
no.
concentration spell, so you can immediately drop concentration anyway.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Actually, no. I think if you cast a concentration spell from Wild Magic, it does not require concentration.
Oh shit.
New rule.
And just last the duration.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah,
'Cause
if the
we've
effect
had
of the
it before
spell
where he's
is
dropped
too
it.
wild to be affected by your mana magic, and if it normally requires concentration, it doesn't require concentration in this case, and it lasts for the full duration.
Oh dear lord.
Damn.
It's better with you guys.
So, Rend, you become confused. At the start of your turn, you need to roll a d10. If you roll a 1, you move in a random direction.
Oh god.
It's been nice knowing you fellas.
If you roll a 1, so there's a little chance of that happening, and you can repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. Oh, Norin, you also fail.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it? That's what it does?
It's a
2 through
random
6.
It's a random
Yeah.
effect.
If you do 9 or if you roll a 9 or a 10, then you can act normally, but oh,
Yeah,
this
then
could be
I'll,
bad. This could be very bad for Thomas as well.
I'll use my last 15 feet to move.
Okay, now it's not as bad.
Yeah.
Man.
Than's gonna move up and dispel magic on that shit.
Yeah, they're just sort of like spinning around like whoop, 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 whoop.
I don't know how that works though, so I
Two guys with giant slayer weapons.
Yeah, you pretty much you
Just
cast it on a
creature.
creature, and all spells of 3rd level and lower instantly end.
okay.
Or if you use a higher level spell slot, then all spells of that level and higher instantly end.
Well, confusion is 4th
One
level.
creature at a time.
so
because it's
is
not
it
on your spell list, then you will need to because I don't think anyone's actually able to cast. Oh no, yeah, Thomas could tell you that it's a 4th level spell because he's able to cast 4th level spells.
Okay. But dispel magic's only 3rd level.
Well, you could upcast it to 4th level, or you could just hopefully roll a wisdom check. The DC is 10 plus the spell's level, so you'd need to make a
Okay,
wisdom
well-
check, DC 14,
I'm just casting it at 3rd level.
on Norin or Rend.
I have to choose only one of them? It's not like the actual effect?
One creature.
Okay. On Norin.
Alright, make a wisdom check. DC is 14. On a success, spell ends.
Wisdom tech. That's just a straight wisdom roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
No
You-
proficiency, no nothing.
Nope. You latch onto the arcane weave that's affecting Norin, and it's kind of tough to spell, so requires a bit of a boost.
Well, may Morales be with my roll then. Alright, here we go.
And that is not quite enough.
Okay. I will. I've moved 30 feet. A bonus action move up towards them again. To there. And then end my turn.
The fire giant looks quite angry. And he keeps on charging forward. Almost in melee range. Norin. You're looking around. Everything is becoming quite fuzzy for you. And you
I have to make an attack on somebody.
have to make a melee attack against either Rend or Than. So you can both of you can roll a d20, Than and Rend, and whoever gets lowest gets attacked.
I only know natural 20, so.
And you will attack Than as you become
I was going
visible.
to dispel magic on you, but no longer.
It's okay. I'm gonna roll a 1 on my turn. So.
It's only a single attack.
Swan dive that shit or what?
I am.
All right.
Sorry, Than.
You only know natural 20s.
Sorry,
Not for
Than.
saving throws.
Alright, are you a
Yeah.
giant? Is your
Giant.
type giant then?
I hope
No,
not.
just my ego. Just my ego.
Alright, he slashes you for 12 damage. And he's like, just something come over him.
Yeah. I'm going to go down soon here.
It's only a single attack.
Yep, and I
You still got movement if you want.
come out of the confusion now, I believe.
Yeah, at the end of your turn, you are supposed to be at the end.
You know, I'm not gonna move. I can best protect people where I'm
Is
at.
it only one round for confusion?
No, I made the save to get out of it.
Yeah, so
Save
save a
every
saving
round.
throw.
Save every round.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's every round. Okay.
Roderick.
Alright. This time, Hunter's Mark. On the giant, I'm not confused. I'm like,
Just take down Than. Just do it.
there can only be one.
That arrow miss just shatters against his armor. Second arrow just hits him, sort of sticks into his side somewhere. Taking a lot to take down this giant. He's a big boy. Rend.
Do not roll a 1.
Mind is sort of twisted.
not roll a
Everything is fuzzy. And
So I don't do anything.
Yeah, you do nothing. You're just doing that
So
breakdance thing.
so now I can do my wisdom save again.
Yep. DC is 15. And you stop
Nice.
whooping.
Thank
I
God.
hadn't leveled because my DC would go.
Thomas.
Alright. So at least the surge gave me my Tides of Chaos back, so I'll actually upcast it this time.
Oof. Alright. It's almost max damage. And we won't
Nice.
roll on the wild magic surge this time.
Fireball in the middle
Do
of
it.
A massive chunk of ice just slams into the fire giant's face, just knocking his head to the side. And when he turns back around, you see half his face sort of blistered off, and he just sort of wipes all the blood off of his face and sort of flicks it onto the ground with his massive hand and looks quite angry.
And yeah, that's as far as I can move. But might as well quicken a ray of frost at him. Wait, that's 60 feet, right? Oh no. It's zoomed out so far.
It's yeah, a bit too far. Alright, Dan.
We'll take a few steps forward. Like 5 steps. And I will command him to grovel. In giant.
Alright, the fire giant roars at you and tries to resist the spell with a wisdom save. And he's able to.
Run east.
That did not go as planned. So I'm going to take a few steps back. Like here. And then end my turn.
Alright, this giant looks quite angry and he keeps on running. And he runs up 20 feet. As he's running, he just sort of moves up 25 feet and he pretty much like just his massive greave just sort of smashes into you, Rend. Make a strength saving throw. And he keeps on going and smashes into Norin as well. You also need to make a strength save. Rend, he sort of just knocks into you. It doesn't damage you, but it does hit Norin and to the ground, prone. And then he just sort of yells at you. Not let go like that! Again, referring to the Hellhound. And he takes his greatsword in both hands and he brings it down on you, Norin.
Okay.
And he stabs into you for 25 slashing damage.
Yeah, he does.
And then he makes his second attack on you. And
I'm going to do a warding maneuver on that one.
you sort of roll to the side and just with extreme power you're able to sort of glance his greatsword off, just blocking the incoming attack. And then the fire giant just roars and he looks like he's getting ready to just start slapping people off the bridge. Norin.
I will use half my movement to stand up. Let's just start going for his legs here. I do still have the Charm of the Slayer on my sword, right?
Yeah, you've
it
got
hasn't
that
been
for
9
like
days.
another few days. I think probably about 4
And it's
days
supposed to
or
last
something.
for 2 weeks?
I think it's 9 days.
9 days, yeah.
I'd have to look at it again.
Been about 5 days. Yeah, it's 9 days in total. Yeah, you got it for another few.
Okay, cool.
4 or so days.
Alright, so first attack.
Alright, you slash, sort of just stab into his boot. Blood sort of starts to fill it. Doesn't drop him to the ground.
I'm gonna put my unwavering mark on him. I'm gonna try to slash him again.
Another hit. And this time you just stab into that same injury, and it causes him to sort of fall down to one knee, crashing into the granite.
I'm going to take a step back so I'm not like under him.
His massive head is just sort of towering down over you. Like his breath is just like searing hot, like fire.
Bonus action, second wind. Oh, that's a terrible roll. And that's my turn.
Roderick.
I am going to command him to flee.
Alright, again, he goes into a battle of will. But he fails, and then he will get away from you as quickly as possible on his next turn.
Yep. I'll just end my turn.
Rand.
Alright, I rage. And he's already prone, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, so just attack.
Nice.
The crit. Alright, you get an extra 2d6 as well because of the giant slayer.
So it's extra. Oh, I see.
Right, 27 damage. You bring the axe down on him, just sort of cutting straight through his plate, man, so hitting him in the torso.
Alright.
He's starting to look pretty hurt.
So that was a crit, so that means I get an extra attack from my Great Weapon Master.
You would usually, but you used your bonus action to rage. It won't get this turn.
Oh, I did in the same turn. Okay, you're right. Alright, so
That's another hit. You bring the axe down again. Just it cuts straight through his armor with ease.
20 more points.
And yeah, you just hit him again, sort of in his torso. His massive form is just sort of towering down over you, and still got a bit of strength left in him. Thomas.
Okay. Oh, feeling kind of naked. Realize I don't have a range on, so I kept. And then I'll it's hard to hit. So I'm gonna quicken an acid splash.
Alright, he's got surprisingly quick reflexes, and he tries to use his gauntleted arm to like block the acid, but it just ends up hitting his hand and sort of searing away his hand a bit.
Actually, I'm gonna move.
Dan.
No, I won't. He's gonna flee.
So I think I'm going to go for. I'm gonna move up to here, and I'll stab at him.
17 is a miss.
Okay, and
Just hits his armor. Alright, Dolvor just keeps on professing, "Not let go like that!" And he takes his greatsword, digs it into the ground. As he sort of shakes his head from side to side, he flicks blood off of the bridge, and you see the blood hawks getting kind of close to him. And then he takes a dash action, and he moves 45 feet north, provoking opportunity attacks from all three of you. And alright, Than, first of all, do your attack. You hit with a sneak attack. And then Rend, you hit. I'm gonna make his strength save because actually he may just fall prone again. He doesn't fall prone with your axe attack, so you hit him for 14 damage.
14. Yeah.
And then Norin, you sort of slash upwards with your longsword, but yeah, it misses. Scratches his greave. Norin.
Yeah. Alright, I'm going to move up to here. So, and I hate having to drop the sword, but I'll gently lay the sword down and then take one of my javelins out. Let's throw one of the first javelins I ever got. Let's throw a goblin javelin at it.
That's a direct hit. You throw the javelin up in sort of an arcing motion, and it sort of sticks down under his collar. Just blood pisses out everywhere, and the bloodhawks try to sort of lap it up from the air. Grabs his neck and just roars.
And that's pretty much all I can do, because I can't take out 2 throwing weapons. To get my shield ready.
Roderick.
Sure. He looks
Now, all
like
of a
he
sudden,
needs some
Roderick,
arrows.
you feel blessed.
Yep.
Just out of nowhere, you're just filled with this energy that blesses you.
Excellent.
Powder of Moradin.
Definitely means
And a strong
Nice.
head wind blows across you at that exact moment when you take the shot. But it actually sort of knocks you on target. And the arrow just it hits the fire giant in the eye socket. And the fire giant just sort of ambles backwards, and then he falls flat on his back, crashing onto the bridge, his arm just dangling off, and his greatsword sliding off the bridge, falling 400 feet below. Hopefully, he doesn't land on one of those
Watch
barges
out!
and kills everyone.
yeah.
Just punches straight through the ship and sinks it.
Like the guys on that barge are just having a really bad day.
First a hellhound.
Bloodhawks immediately they sort of dart down, start picking away at the fire giant.
I would like to go collect my goblin javelin because this is my last one.
Alright, there is a seething, blinding, yellowish light, a glow that just starts to sort of appear over the fire giant. And the blinding light, it causes the Bloodhawks to actually disperse. Golden sphere of energy. And it's so bright that it pretty much blocks, it blinds anyone who sort of stares at it, but then it takes a form. It rises up into the form of a giant dwarf. Glowing giant dwarf with a golden beard. He's like about the size of the fire giant. Roderick, my child. It is I, your father. Moradin. Aye. It is true. All dwarves have a Scottish accent.
Aye. For a long time, I've been trying to hide it from these guys.
I. My child. We have walked an ancient path, as many of your ancestors have done before you. This giant, it has defiled the stone bridge. Long ago, in ages past, this world you see before you, all around you, it did belong to the giants in the Age of Thunders. Giants and dwarves. We shared a common attribute. We were both created from other beings that brought us to this world, in which we made it our home. I was your creator, Roderick. With hammer and anvil, I forged you. But the giants, they took their presence here for granted. And they warred with dragons, who were similarly alien. Now is the time of a new age, where humanoids and small folk alike have claimed this world for their own, and giants have realized their place in this world. For they are bent on destruction and will destroy this world. For long have they been quelled, but now they have risen, they have become disturbed. The ordering has been sundered. And Roderick, your destiny lies in fixing it. Fix it with hammer and anvil. Not literally, but metaphorically. Just want to get that clear.
Maybe mending would work since it's kind of a magical thing.
Nay. Nay, Roderick, nay.
Perish the thought.
To learn how the giants act and how their minds work with the ordning, you must become giant yourself. Head to the Eye of the Allfather. The Eye of the Allfather. As in eyeball, not eye as in yes.
Eye.
Wait, is that eye as in yes or eye as in eyeball?
There is no I in Allfather.
Yes.
Yes. Now, let me raise the fallen granite. This is granite, by the way.
Yes.
Let me rise it from the Desert River to repair the bridge. Hamdallah, hamdallah. And he raises his hands, and the massive chunks of rock rise up from the Desert River, and you see the bridge magically repair itself. There's like one screaming person that was just sort of a dwarf. One screaming dwarf, he was like actually on top of one of these bricks, just and it just goes flying up and gets as the bridge gets inserted into place. Now, Roderick.
Did he say all that in Dwarvish, by the way?
Yeah, he's speaking in Dwarvish.
Okay.
Now, Roderick, I will use my powers to aid you. I can use magic to forge your location in this world. Speak the word, speak the name of a township you know, and I shall transport ye there. Aye. And Morden will... Oh, the...
I whisper to Roderick, make sure he teleports all of us.
I can't understand the word that this thing is saying. What's going on?
The avatar of Moradin will teleport you where you... somewhere that you name. Somewhere that you've been before.
Okay. Yeah.
Harsnag.
Harsnag is not a place, it's the name of the guy, isn't it?
We would go back to the last place I saw him.
Yeah.
The closest we got to him was...
Mithril Hall would probably be like
Yeah.
somewhere good,
That's
particularly because it's like a dwarven hall.
Yeah, I would say Mithril Hall.
Aye. And then with that, he turns into another glowing mote of light, and you guys are all whisked away.
Thank you.
Mithril Hall. And when you appear, you're just sort of standing at the gates, out the front of Mithril Hall, and the giant adamantine rod that was tucked into this fire giant's belt, it's actually resting there on the ground next to you guys. 4 foot tall adamantine rod. It looks somewhat magical. And
Did Morden happen to grab my goblin javelin for me?
Aye.
What happens when you? What happens when you try to grab the rod?
And where's
Is it
Mithril
too heavy
Hall?
to pick up?
It weighs 100 pounds.
So I'll just use one hand then.
Pick it up.
I was going to say Render I could carry it.
And why can I not find Mithril Hall? I've got a map for Mithril Hall. Oh, there it is.
Up at Larkwood.
So this is like the entrance of Mithril Hall.
Oh well.
You guys are like on another bridge.
Oh man.
I remember this in World of Warcraft.
I'll turn to.
Hopefully, that's not exactly where I was teleported to.
I'll ask Rogic. What is it with dwarves and bridges? I don't understand.
And
We seek audience with King Bruner at once.
as you guys have been teleported, you've all found that all of your wounds that you'd suffered during that battle have magically healed, which seems to be nothing. So this is where we'll
That's
end.
not true. That's not true. Than got
Yeah.
shit
Yeah.
kicked out of him.
Oh yeah, why is your
Yeah,
hit points not updated? Weird.
By Norin.
Well, anyway,
And a rock.
everyone can like rest up again and level up to level 8, and that's where we'll end today's session.
Yeah. All
Sweet.
right.
Nice.
All right. So, it's decision time for Norin. Do I want to go ahead and pump it up to 20 on the strength, or do I want to
Become a
get
wizard.
another feat?
Say that you guys get teleported like into the actual main area as well, because Orian's not that accurate. He doesn't want to drop you on the other side of the bridge accidentally. Alrighty, so Hill Giant Steeding is down, and you guys are a lot closer to your next goal. I'll see you guys next week.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Seb.
Alright, take care, everyone. Thank you all very much. I'll see you then. Bye.
Later.
So this is a hard choice.